the impeccable credibility, professionalism, and business savviness of BusinessDay. If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications. From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision-makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, BusinessDay fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities, with millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria. BusinessDay is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. If you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape, BusinessDay is your guide.
For 25 years, BusinessDay has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot, built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access deeper context instantly. Text-to-speech functionality, allowing you to listen to articles on the go.
The Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos, has recorded an 11.8% growth in air traffic.
Whether you're commuting, driving, or multitasking, BusinessDay now moves with you. And with our new language translation feature, our journalism becomes even more accessible. You can select your preferred language, thereby expanding reach across diverse audiences in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. This innovation reinforces our commitment to being not just a news platform, but also a smart, accessible, and future-ready business intelligence hub. As we celebrate 25 years of impact, we step confidently into the future, powered by technology, driven by credibility, and focused on you. Visit the new BusinessDay website today and experience the future of news.
This is Business Week, a weekly program brought to you by BusinessDay Television.
And we're live from Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, bringing you the latest insight into the stories that matter for business and the economy. I am Deborah Eze.
Onyeka Valentine.
I am Destiny Momo.
My name is Elizabeth Mosef.
When you think of business, think no more, think BusinessDay. I know that Business Day television will go places. It is the next big thing that will happen to the Nigerian media sector without a shade of doubt.
This is Business Week, a weekly program brought to you by Business Day Television.
And we're live from Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, bringing you the latest insight into the stories that matter for business and the economy. I am Deborah Eze.
Onyeka Valentine.
I am Destiny Momo.
My name is Elizabeth Musef.
When you think of business, think no more, think Business Day.
I know that Business Day television will go places. It is the next big thing that will happen to the Nigerian media sector without a shade of doubt.
This is Business Week, a weekly program brought to you by Business Day Television.
And we're live from Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, bringing you the latest insight into the stories that matter for business and the economy. I am Deborah Eze.
Onyeka Valentine.
I am Destiny Momo.
My name is Elizabeth Musef.
And welcome to Business Morning Live right here on Business Day Television. It's a lovely Friday morning from our Lagos studios here in Lagos, Nigeria. It's lovely that you're joining us this morning. My name is Elizabeth Musa. Thank you for joining us. Let's see what's making headlines this morning. CBN detects FX infractions among authorized dealers after review of 34 banks. Federal government unveils framework to cut cost of capital, publish fuel subsidy savings. President Tinubu dissolves committee overseeing federal government property sales. Obasanjo urges government to protect food supply zones for national security. Now let's begin the news as the Central Bank of Nigeria has identified foreign exchange infractions among authorized dealer banks following a compliance review involving 34 financial institutions as part of efforts to strengthen transparency and discipline in the country's foreign exchange market. The Apex Bank said the review uncovered breaches of foreign exchange guidelines by some authorized dealers and reaffirmed its commitment to enforcing compliance with existing regulations. The exercise forms part of broader measures to improve market integrity, curb malpractice, and ensure the efficient functioning of Nigeria's FX market. Analysts say the findings signal the CBN's determination to tighten oversight of the foreign exchange market and reinforce confidence among investors. They note that stronger regulatory enforcement could improve transparency and market stability, although affected institutions may face sanctions or be required to strengthen their internal compliance systems. Now moving on, the federal government has unveiled a new framework aimed at reducing the cost of capital and improving access to financing, while also pledging to publish a detailed account of fuel subsidy savings and how the funds have been spent. Speaking on the reforms, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, said the government is committed to greater fiscal transparency and ensuring that the gains from ongoing economic reforms translate into tangible improvement for businesses and citizens. He stressed that while macroeconomic stability has been largely restored, the next phase of reforms must focus on delivering inclusive growth and shared prosperity. Analysts say lowering the cost of capital could stimulate private sector investment, boost productivity, and create jobs, while greater transparency on fuel subsidy savings may strengthen public trust and accountability. They add that the success of the reforms will depend on consistent implementation and policies that ensure economic stability translate into better living standards. And in other news, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the immediate dissolution of the committee responsible for overseeing the sale of federal government properties across the country as part of efforts to strengthen transparency and improve the management of public assets. The directive takes immediate effect and is expected to pave the way for a review of existing processes governing the disposal of government-owned properties. The administration says the move aligns with its commitment to accountability, efficiency, and better governance in the management of public resources. Analysts say the decision could lead to reforms in how government assets are valued, managed, and sold, while increasing public confidence in the disposal process. They note the clear guidelines and stronger oversight will be crucial to ensuring transparency and protecting public interest in future property transactions. Now, to end the news, former President Olusegun Obasanjo has called on the federal government to prioritize the protection of Nigeria's food-producing areas, warning that securing agricultural zones is critical to the country's national defense and food security. Obasanjo said persistent insecurity in farming communities continues to threaten agricultural production, disrupt supply chains, and worsen food inflation. He stressed that safeguarding food supply zones should be treated as a strategic national priority to ensure stable food production and protect livelihoods. Analysts say improved security in key agricultural regions could boost food output, reduce supply disruptions, and help moderate rising food prices. They add that stronger collaboration between security agencies, government, and farming communities will be essential to achieving long-term food security and economic stability. Now that does it this morning on Business Morning Live News. Up next is the newspaper review. Do stay with us.
For 25 years, BusinessDay has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot, built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access deeper context instantly. Text-to-speech functionality, allowing you to listen to articles on the go.
The Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos, has recorded an 11.8% growth in air traffic.
Whether you're commuting, driving, or multitasking, BusinessDay now moves with you. And with our new language translation feature, our journalism becomes even more accessible. You can select your preferred language, thereby expanding reach across diverse audiences in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. This innovation reinforces our commitment to being not just a news platform, but also a smart, accessible, and future-ready business intelligence hub. As we celebrate 25 years of impact, we step confidently into the future, powered by technology, driven by credibility, and focused on you. Visit the new BusinessDay website today and experience the future of news.
At Providus Bank, we're committed to your growth and success. You're never alone on the journey. Our personalized relationship banking is how we do things together. It's what sets us apart. We value every individual and partnership and treat them as such. We're committed to helping you grow and celebrating your success. This is your life story, your future, your forward. This is all about you. Let's move you forward. Providus Bank.
I am, of course, a great admirer of the impeccable credibility, professionalism, and business savviness of BusinessDay. If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications. From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision-makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, BusinessDay fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities, with millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria. BusinessDay is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. If you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape, BusinessDay is your guide.
Pleasure of welcoming great supporters and friends from INMA. He's the president, and then of course L. Wilkinson, and then Dorin is heading the work in Africa.
Honored that you're hosting us today. We look forward to a positive exchange of ideas and strategies to make our industry better. With me is Al Wilkinson. He's President and Executive Director of International News Media Association. All right, guys. And we're happy to have him here. I'll let him tell you guys more about him and why he's here.
I would leave you with the idea about BusinessDay. No platform can take it. No AI can replicate it. No competitor can buy it. So here's a little advice. Defend it. Build it. Invest in it. Because folks, the decade ahead is going to belong to news organizations that are unmistakably themselves. They're not boring. They're not neutral. Who are you? Answer that question. You'll figure out the next one. Thanks a lot.
This is the 14th annual edition of the BusinessDay CEO Forum, a forum for CEOs, leaders, policymakers, key stakeholders across Nigeria's economy. And today's theme is really from stability to shared prosperity. Today is such a beautiful day with all of the CEOs and the policymakers and the government officials we have right here in the hall. But today, I'm here right now with the CEO of KPMG One Africa, Mr. Tola Adeyemi. Thank you so much for coming to our booth and stopping by.
Thank you, Elizabeth. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. So let me start by, speaking to the theme. I mean, you already delivered such a beautiful presentation upstate, but let's talk about the theme for this year's event, which is from stability to shared prosperity. I want to hear your perspective of, some of the indicators that says, oh, really that we're moving to shared prosperity, because, when you look at the macroeconomic conditions, some of the things around you, it's hard to, to actually agree. So I want to hear your perspective.
Well, first of all, let me say congratulations to this day for organizing this event.
Business Day.
And so Business Day for organizing this event, and also for the choice of topic, because I think it's very timely. We've gone through a suite of reforms in Nigeria, which were aimed at stabilizing the economy. But the other important aspect of that is making sure that the prosperity that comes from GDP growth, that permeates throughout the economy and everybody feels the impact. So we know intuitively that people complain about the rising cost of living and such other things. But we thought that it's important to bring to this conversation around shared prosperity. Let's bring some data into the conversation. Let's have a scorecard that can be used to measure shared prosperity. And so what we've done is to come up with such a scorecard, including various indices that relate to how inclusive the growth is. It relates to people's well-being and standard of well-being. So for instance, some of the indices we look at are the rate of GDP growth in itself. We look at indices such as GDP per capita, which is to understand the trend in that. We look at the number of children of school age that are out of school, because that's another indicator as well. We look at indicators such as access to electricity as another indicator. And then the number of people that are operating in what we refer to as multidimensional poverty. So we believe that tracking these indices over a period of time will certainly provide an indication as to how well the economy is doing in delivering shared prosperity. We also think it's important for government to articulate its targets in relation to those indices, and to make those targets public, as well as the periodic measurement of those indices, because I think accountability is pretty important in helping to deliver shared prosperity. So these are all the things that I spoke about.
So some of the indicators that you'd mentioned.
Yeah.
But I'm also curious to know, do you believe that we are entering into a new phase of economic prosperity or economic opportunity? Do you believe? If you believe, why? If you don't believe, why not?
Well, I think you must remember where we're coming from, and I say if you look in the rear view mirror, you'll see in our past as a country, we're coming from a situation where we were in pretty dire straits, is the way I would put it. Remember, we had multiple exchange rates. Right. We had an unsustainable fuel subsidy. We had our indices at all-time lows. There was the whole issue of the level of government borrowing that existed as well. With the reforms that have been put in place, we're seeing a number of key macroeconomic indices now stabilizing. So things like the exchange rate is now stable. Inflation is trending downwards. GDP is growing. So we've moved from what I would say was an almost disaster situation to a situation of stability. Now what we need to achieve is making sure that while maintaining stability, we're delivering shared prosperity. So in a way, you could think about this in phases and say we've gone from being where our indices were moving erratically and chaotically to where they're stable. And now the focus has got to be delivering on that prosperity. So I think where we are now is at this stage where the conversation has got to be more and more about how you deliver shared prosperity. So yes, I think there's been an evolution, but there's still a journey to go.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Now, as a CEO, are there some lessons that some lessons, perhaps top lessons that you've learned within the economic climate that we are right now?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I think all businesses have learnt that you've got to be resilient to operate in an economy such as ours. Resilience demands agility, continuously rethinking your strategy and monitoring what's going on in the external environment and making sure you're responding to that very, very quickly. It also involves looking at key data and forecasting where things are likely to go. But I think some of the biggest lessons for me have been the fact that as businesses, as a CEO, we've got to be always thinking long term, because we're in Nigeria, and as I believe most businesses are in Nigeria for the long term. And when you're in for the long term, you've got to be investing for the long term. I think all businesses have a responsibility to invest in the development of talent, the development of skills that not just which that business needs, but which Nigeria as a whole needs to foster its development. That's how businesses take part as well alongside government in creating the future for our country. It's investing in skills, investing in their businesses to create wealth for the shareholders and employees. These all come together. And I think, these are all important lessons and important things that businesses need to do as we move forward. Yeah.
And speaking of these things that businesses need to do, it brings me to my next question. What separates the companies that thrive from the ones that struggle during periods of change?
I would say it's foresight, one, that ability to look into the future. It's about execution and response time. The businesses that thrive are businesses that are agile and that have the capacity to respond quickly to changes in the environment. The businesses that thrive are the businesses that have the ability to execute on the plans that they develop. Because as you all know, it's one thing to develop a plan. It's quite another thing to ensure that you're executing on it and monitoring the execution of those. The other thing that differentiates businesses is the quality of people that are within those businesses. And how do you get quality people? It's by making sure that you're running a company that has the right set of values and in which you create the right environment in which employees want to work there and want to put in their best. So these are some of the things that distinguish the winners from those who do not win.
Yes, I like that you say about the losers. But now let's also talk about technology. Would you say that technology is creating a level playing field for businesses, or would you say it's created a wider gap?
I think it's definitely a differentiator amongst businesses. There are areas in which it has helped to bridge the gap between businesses, because it has allowed startup businesses, for instance, to leapfrog several stages of development and catch up with more established businesses. So to that extent, it has certainly helped to accelerate growth and bridge the gap. But I think as we look into the future, it's going to become more of a differentiator as well, and that the businesses that will thrive are those that really focus on using technology and in particular artificial intelligence, in ways that are customer focused. Because I think when you deploy your technology and your artificial intelligence on things that matter to your customers, then you really start to widen the gap between yourselves and the others. So the way I see it is that all businesses right now are in this play to say, how do we compete based on the quality and efficiency of our technology? And as in all areas, I think we will see some winners will emerge, those who understand it and who are able to deploy it in the most effective manner, and then others who will struggle in terms of how they deploy it. The message is that Nigeria is on an upward trajectory. Business confidence is improving. We've seen the credit ratings also trending in the right direction from the international credit agencies. We've seen a lot of reforms that are happening in the business environment. And, you know, one thing that I hear consistently from our clients is that the government is listening, is the way I would put it. There's confidence in that aspect, that the government wants to do the right things, and the government creates an opportunity for business to interact with government, and they listen and they act. So the message to everyone is that Nigeria is on the up, and there are huge opportunities within this economy, and we all just need to engage, and we'll move the country forward.
So if we were sitting here at the next CEO Forum, that's 2027 CEO Forum,
right,
and I'm sitting next to Mr. Tola Adeyemi, what would you hope has changed?
I would hope that we'll be able to say, Elizabeth, that, you know what, a year ago, look at where Nigeria was in terms of all the indices that we spoke about for shared prosperity, and look at where we are now. And I would hope that we would be seeing progress in all those indices. That would give a great deal of satisfaction, because we would then know that indeed we're delivering, you know, as a country on this shared prosperity objective that's so important. So I look forward to the 2027 edition, and I look forward to discussing the progress in the indices.
I mean, on a better level. But thank you very much for spending your time with us today at the Business Day CEO Forum, and also this insightful conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a real pleasure.
I am, of course, a great admirer of the impeccable credibility, professionalism, and business savviness of BusinessDay. If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications. From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, Business Day fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities. With millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria, Business Day is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. If you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape, Business Day is your guide.
For 25 years, Business Day has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot, built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access deeper context instantly. Text-to-speech functionality, allowing you to listen to articles on the go.
The Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos, has recorded an 11.8% growth in air traffic.
Whether you're commuting, driving, or multitasking, Business Day now moves with you. And with our new language translation feature, our journalism becomes even more accessible. You can select your preferred language, thereby expanding reach across diverse audiences in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. This innovation reinforces our commitment to being not just a news platform, but also a smart, accessible, and future-ready business intelligence hub. As we celebrate 25 years of impact, we step confidently into the future, powered by technology, driven by credibility, and focused on you. Visit the new Business Day website today and experience the future of news.
Welcome back. You're still watching Business Morning Live right here on Business Day Television. Now it's time for us to see what's on the front pages of the papers this morning. As always, we start off with the Business Day newspaper, and I'm not doing it alone. I'm being joined by our in-house analyst, Mohammed Akonji. Good morning and welcome to Business Morning, Mohammed Akonji.
Good morning, Elizabeth. Thank you very much for having me. How are you today? I'm so sorry I couldn't be there with you in person. I had a bout of flu over the night, so I needed to use some drugs. So sorry about my absence, but I'm sure we'll be able to have
It's fine. You're here, so there's nothing to be sorry about. You're here. You're joining us virtually, and it's fine. It's good that you're joining us, and also I would say I empathize with you.
I'm not sure we've done this week, myself and you.
We have. I think we did on. Oh no, we didn't on Monday.
No, we haven't. We did it on Wednesday, exactly.
Yes, we did.
Maybe it's actually good. I've actually interacted with Deb for the past 2 days now. I think on Wednesday because of the other engagement we had. But it's been actually good, and it's nice seeing you again, Elizabeth.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Let's start off and see what we have on the front page of the Business Day paper this morning. It's quite an interesting spread on the front page of the Business Day newspaper this morning. Guessing we can just have it on the screen so our viewers can also see what we have on the front page of the Business Day newspaper. But Mohammed, have you gone through the spread of what we have on Business Day paper this morning?
Oh yes. Even though I just started going through like about 5 minutes ago. But I think there are some of the important stories there that have actually been generating ripples and headlines since yesterday. So I'm sure it's good we can be able to hit the right.
Which of the stories stick out for you today?
Okay. I think the two important deadlines are actually ending today. The first is the federal government e-invoicing plan, digitizing procurement, payment, and other things like that. I don't know, I'm sure you went to a public school as well, right? there's this idea, I'm sure it's also was in public school, around e-invoicing, where the government want to be able to move away from manual settlement. Let's say you want to pay school fees in school, because I know it was a very bad experience those days in when I was in the university, where you wanted to be able to pay, and some of them are actually manual, where you have to be able to pay in the bank, you have to bring your teller to the department, and all those things. And in the process, if God will help you, you misplace those teller. So I know you've seen people, Nigerians have actually been clamoring that okay, there's a need, and government introduced, I think, Remita at the time, to ensure that we digitize payment process. But now we have that today, the e-invoicing, so if you do something with the government and then you are a vendor to the government or you supply anything to the federal government, you are able to channel, or you are able to be able to request or make your requisition through, we all know what it actually used to be, the process, the manual process, but now it's going to actually be invoicing, and that will allow us to be able to engender, that will break transparency, will actually be able to engender integrity, and at least we'll be able to bring government into account, right? So I think that is one. Then the insurance capitalization is also ending today. We have seen the banking for the insurance, because of maybe I don't know, maybe because of the we can't be able to compare in terms of intensity, because of the relative intensity it has relative to the banking sector. It's supposed to end in March. It was extended to June, and then we see that today is when it will likely going to be able to end. So the insurance recapitalization is also coming to an end today.
Yeah.
And we don't see likely of any extension any further, on the part of the regulators called NICOM in this regard. And I'm sure that analysts, experts, industry watchers are on the lookout to see who are those that are able to scale the order, who are those that will still be at the receiving end of the regulators' hammer. So I think that is that. And I think the other one there, thank you. I think you are showing that is the First Bank story. I think we did a very good expose.
Right, that was a very good story from our correspondent Chiwe Michael. Talked about how Otedola moved First Holdco to Nigeria's most valuable bank. Yeah.
And we see that when they release their financial statement, their first half of this year, they become valuable bank in Nigeria, taking over the place from Zenith Bank. And how he's actually been able to do that, that's actually the journey. So I'm sure that if our watchers, our audience at home, pick up the paper today, they will be able to see how he did it, and you learn from that particular journey. Even though as much as possible, this is Femi Otedola, whether it is you I was talking to, I read his book, that very popular book,
Yes.
And I'm sure there are a lot of people who have actually been able to respond. I don't know if I'm able to call it, the reactions have actually been mixed. Some felt like he has the advantage already, before you get there. But I'm sure it's always good to be able to they say you learn. I remember those days when we were studying in school, they will tell you that the motto of Gogo, look at Gogo, said learning from the shoulders of the giant. It's always good you do that. So you learn from them, you understand some of their own missteps as well, so that you will not be able to, get stuffed into their missteps. And what those things that they've done, they actually be able to catapult them into the pantheon of success. So I think it's always good, pick that, and then our readers and audience can be able to understand this better.
Right, and let's talk about our final story. That one is on tourism, and that's on the back of, obviously, the tourism conference which held on Wednesday. It talked about tourism's bold bet on Guinness Nigeria soars 5 times to 48 I'm thinking about 48 billion.
Tolaram, actually. I think it's Tolaram story. Is it tourism?
Tolaram.
Yeah, Tolaram, yes. Okay.
Right.
Tolaram, they bought their geo, right? They bought their geo, and I think this is another important deals. In fact, we're trying to be able to create a business day desk now. We're trying to be able to create a deal intelligence deal book. And then we monitored this yesterday. Tolaram bought Guinness from Diageo in 2024. And we've seen that their PBT, their profit before tax, have actually soared. In fact, their earnings have actually soared as well. So we've seen how they've actually done in terms of their market value. The valuation of the bank now, we're looking at the value. When they took it over, this is actually a company that is less than 100 billion naira. right, in terms of value. But since Tolaram took over Guinness from their geo, we've seen a kind of a 5x increase in the valuation of the company. So this is maybe this point to two things. One, we're looking at the acumen, the shrewdness of doing business by Tolaram, as well as the yielding business environment that we are currently witnessing in Nigeria. Despite all the headwinds, we are seeing businesses. But we'll talk about First Bank now. They become one of the most valued bank. And we've seen that a lot of them are taking advantage of the conducive business and economic environment, and they're actually using that as a pedestal to be able to achieve success and growth.
Fine, fantastic. Let's move on and see what we have on the Vanguard paper real quick. On the front page of the Vanguard paper this morning, the big story says federal government labor clash over use of fuel subsidy removal savings. And the writer goes on to say savings used to service increased workers' salaries and others. This is from the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele. It also says, you are economical with truth. Labour tells federal government, dares finance minister to produce evidence on salary claim. I'm going to hear your thoughts on that real quick. But let's also talk about this menace of open defecation, Nigeria's silent sanitation emergency. Also, Nigeria mourns ex-finance minister Abubakar Alhaji. We also see unmet demands. Resident doctors begin strike on August 10th. But I want us to talk about this menace of open defecation. Today I was coming to work and I was shaking my head. I was like, oh my God. You know what? Lagos, honestly, I was saying it to myself. I said, this is a dirty city. I was saying it to myself, this place is too dirty. I'm seeing this menace of open defecation. It is bad. It is terrible. Now, the pollution, you see, my voice has gone up, and it's always when I'm passionate about something. The pollution, the dirt, when you see dirt everywhere, I'm like, why? I was saying to myself, do I need to write an article of how, maybe an article on wastes and Lagos? Because
I guess it is. And I joined between that voice actually, Elizabeth, because I think it's an eyesore.
It's an eyesore.
It's an eyesore, and as much as we'll always be able to pin everything to the government, and we will say that the government is actually not doing well, it is quite unfortunate that we ourselves are some of the architects of some of the misfortunes. This morning, I left somewhere and I was actually coming down home, and I was seeing somebody, I'm talking about it's early in the morning, bathing under the bridge early in the morning. Like, I'm talking about that. Can you say eyesore? We're coming to work. We're talking about, and somebody was actually staying under the bridge in public places. I'm sure that trying to have baits there, definitely you
will be driving on the road or passing by on the road, and you will see people. And before I used to think it was people that what do we call omaba? I used to think it was people that were mentally had mental challenges. No,
exactly.
It's
I'm telling you. I saw that. I'm a living witness to that this morning. I could not even be able to look with my eyes to look at that, because I'm talking about this is actually a very public place where people are moving to and fro, maybe going back on their daily business. I thought he was actually there, taking his own bath, I'm so sorry that the person was even a lady. I'm talking about that, but maybe there could be element of mental derangement, but you could see some people talking to her there. You know what I'm talking about? I was aghast when I saw that.
And I think we need a kick against waste or kick against something.
Actually unbecoming, that is, untoward.
It's bad, it's terrible. But let's move on and talk about the big story very quick so we can touch on something else. The one which says federal government labor clash over the use of fuel subsidy removal savings. What are your thoughts on this story?
Okay, I think the story was yesterday. As much as possible, there are concerns, about subsidy savings. And one of the things, there are two important takeaways for me from that was I listened to it, the Minister of Finance, because of my economics biases and some of the other things that I am actually slanted to. The fact that very soon they will actually be able to release a concrete document. They will release a comprehensive document of what the subsidy savings have been used for. I think I'm really up for that. We needed to see. Don't forget, as of 2025. This administration claimed that 10 trillion naira has been saved from subsidy savings since the popular narrative of subsidy has gone was actually made. Don't forget. So we want to believe now. Let us get it from the Minister of Finance, right, and the Coordinating Minister of the Economy. How much? Because of course you have to cut him some slack. Don't forget, he just get into the office about less than 3 months or 4 months into his. But he's actually promising some very bold steps. But one other thing he mentioned was the fact that part of the subsidy savings was what was used to be able to increase workers' welfare. Don't forget, it is this government that increased minimum wage to 70,000 naira. I think I cannot be. If you look at that cost in itself, that personnel overhead cost in itself, we multiply it by the total number of workers we have in Nigeria. Even the number of labor force in Nigeria is about 5% or thereabouts. If you multiply that increase from 30,000 naira that it was, that's 40,000 per person minimum. They talk about the consequential adjustment. So we're saying that the subsidy saved was actually saved from subsidy removal was what was actually channeled into other things apart from allocations going to the governors. We heard the president was also yesterday talking about the money that I'm actually giving to governors now has increased between 3 to 4 times what it used to be. At the time he came in, he was trying to be able to make that when traditional rulers from Oyo State came to pay him a visit, and that maybe most of them are actually diverting it to White Elephant Project, talking about building bridges that do not be able to have demographic traffics. There is no numerical traffic for states. I mean, for some of them who are actually building those. But I'm sure the clash yesterday at that event between the Minister of Finance and the Labour, centers around that. What has this been used for? The Labour, which is quite understandable, felt that they have not actually been able to feel the effect. And the minister was like saying, no, this money here was actually used to be able to increase. We have used this to be able to increase the minimum wage to 70,000 naira. And that, in fact, this administration also promised that minimum wage will be reviewed every 33 years as against the usual 5 years, as against the 5 years renewal discussions. So maybe it could be for political reasons. It could be to be able to coax voters to be able to vote for them ahead of next year's election. But the 70,000, we can't forget that this was actually done in 2024, in April 2024, when the announcement of the minimum wage was made, and this was actually made by this administration, and that goes a long way to question would be where do we source that? How are we able to fund that? Maybe the federal government is telling us that it comes from the subsidy savings.
Right, Mo, let's look very quick at what we have on the front page of the Guardian paper real quick. It's also quite an interesting spread, but I want us to just touch on one story that we have on the front page of the Guardian. It says that the high cost of hepatitis care stressed facilities exposed 20 million to liver damage, and that's in the healthcare sector. And I think it's something that we shouldn't just overlook this morning. It's an important conversation. Our healthcare sector
very important
needs urgent attention, because we're talking about the high cost of 20 million people being exposed to liver damage. That's terrible.
That's terrible. I mean, in fact, I don't know what I was listening to yesterday, and then people were talking about this hepatitis in terms of the kind of phobia that people have for AIDS, for example, HIV and AIDS. That this hepatitis sometimes is actually more violent and more deadly than that. Than you look at the kind of attention that we'll give to it. But I think the top story of Guardian today was pointing to the fact that the cost of this itself, I'm sure that this will actually be very, very expensive. I don't know what the exact amount or what it takes, and that's why people just say it's just only a sickness away for you to be able to know the difference between a rich man and a poor man. All your savings that will just be able to turn you over turn the fortune around. We pray and ask God never to let that be our portion anyway. But the high cost of this hepatitis, I think they have like different categories, maybe A, B, C, as they call it, and stress facility as well. It appears that people are coming down with this. 20 million liver damages. But this cannot also not be unconnected, don't forget, Elizabeth, to lifestyle. The way people drink alcohol in this nation, I think is also alarming.
The way they drink alcohol, Mohammed, I want us to talk about this way they drink alcohol. Do you think that Nigerians drink more alcohol than some other countries, which I don't want to mention their names? Do you think that that Nigerians consume more alcohol than some of these other countries? You think so?
So because I remember we see all the data, I've tried to we are amongst one of the countries in the world actually be able to measure. Yes, I'm sure you'll be mentioning some countries that actually Germany is actually higher on the high ladder. But one of the things I'm just saying is I'm not saying we are like the country with the highest rate of alcohol consumption in the world. But I can tell you that we're actually among some of the biggest, because the rate at which people consume it. But what I'm just saying, in essence, Elizabeth, is yes, I'm sure we are not. But some of this lifestyle that we adopt is contributory. They are actually be able to help some of these diseases to fester. Yeah, there could be hereditary factors, there could be other things, but our lifestyle itself play a very important role, my lady Elizabeth. It plays a very important role. And look at the body. There is no way this will not be able to stretch the facility. Don't forget the exit facilities. It's not only we're talking about facilities for all of us. Now, liver disease alone, this hepatitis, 20 million. Then if you're not able to not talk about the other ones, BP, talk about AIDS, talk about, variety of other diseases that people come down with. But this is quite, so I'm sure that as much as we are, what I'm going to say, as much as we will be able to say that government needs to be able to step up the effort, we also need to be able to rethink our ways of life.
Fantastic. I mean, very, very good way for us to cap it this morning. We also need to rethink our way of life. Government needs to step up their efforts. Fantastic way to round it off this morning. Let's see what we have on the cartoon of the day. It's always a good way for us to wrap up the conversations here on the newspaper review segment, and it's the Business Day cartoon of the day. Now we see this, it's a tomb site, and then we see on the headstone it says, "Here lies Nigeria resting in peace time," and we see blood on the tomb, and then we see a banner on the side. It says, "We need war. We need no war. We are already bleeding enough in peace." That's what we have on the cartoon of the day this morning. Very profound.
Amazing. This is our Mr. Sukwa, right? Always with his catchy and
yeah.
But I don't know. I don't understand this anyway.
I don't understand. I think it's all about it's about the bloodshed and the war.
This time, it's just like, okay, the day that they want in peace at the moment.
So it's basically bleeding in peace, right? So the insecurity things and all of these things that are going on. So it says bleeding in peace.
Okay.
Right.
I can't get it now. Thank you. I think I understand that. I mean, it's ironical anyway.
Right. Thank you so much, Mo, for joining us this morning on the newspaper review segment here.
I'm sure it's a thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday.
How are you going to spend the weekend? Yeah. But when I see you, I have some movies I wanted to recommend to you because I know you're a movie person like myself.
Please do. I'm looking forward to that.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Right, this is still Business Morning Live right here on Business Day Television. Up next, our conversations. Stay tuned.
For 25 years, Business Day has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot, built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access deeper context instantly. Text-to-speech functionality, allowing you to listen to articles on the go.
The Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos, has recorded an 11.8% growth in air traffic.
Whether you're commuting, driving, or multitasking, Business Day now moves with you. And with our new language translation feature, our journalism becomes even more accessible. You can select your preferred language, thereby expanding reach across diverse audiences in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. This innovation reinforces our commitment to being not just a news platform, but also a smart, accessible, and future-ready business intelligence hub. As we celebrate 25 years of impact, we step confidently into the future, powered by technology, driven by credibility, and focused on you. Visit the new Business Day website today and experience the future of news.
pleasure of welcoming great supporters and friends from INMA. He's the president, and then of course L. Wilkinson, and then Dorin is heading the work in Africa.
Honored that you're hosting us today. We look forward to a positive exchange of ideas and strategies to make our industry better. With me is Al Wilkinson. He's President and Executive Director of International News Media Association. All right, guys. And we're happy to have him here. I'll let him tell you guys more about him and why he's here.
I would leave you with the idea about business days. No platform can take it. No AI can replicate it. No competitor can buy it. So here's a little advice. Defend it. Build it. Invest in it. Because folks, the decade ahead is going to belong to news organizations that are unmistakably themselves. They're not boring. They're not neutral. Who are you? Answer that question. You'll figure out the next one. Thanks a lot.
I am, of course, a great admirer of the impeccable credibility, professionalism, and business savviness of BusinessDay. If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications. From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision-makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, BusinessDay fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities, with millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria. BusinessDay is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. if you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape. Business Day is your guide.
At Providus Bank, we're committed to your growth and success. You're never alone on the journey. Our personalized relationship banking is how we do things together. It's what sets us apart. We value every individual and partnership and treat them as such. We're committed to helping you grow and celebrating your success. This is your life story, your future, your forward. This is all about you. Let's move you forward. Providus Bank.
This is Business Week, a weekly program brought to you by Business Day Television.
And we're live from Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, bringing you the latest insight into the stories that matter for business and the economy. I am Deborah Eze.
Onyeka Valentine.
I am Destiny Momo.
My name is Elizabeth Musef.
When you think of business, think no more, think Business Day.
I know that Business Day Television will go places. It is the next big thing that will happen to the Nigerian media sector without a shade of doubt.
This is Business Week, a weekly program brought to you by Business Day Television.
And we're live from Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, bringing you the latest insight into the stories that matter for business and the economy. I am Deborah Eze.
Onyeka Valentine.
I am Destiny Momo.
My name is Elizabeth Musef.
When you think of business, think no more, think Business Day.
I know that Business Day Television will go places. It is the next big thing that will happen to the Nigerian media sector without a shade of doubt.
Television. My name is Elizabeth Musa. The event industry has become an important part of the broader economy, supporting businesses across hospitality, logistics, entertainment, media, catering, and tourism. But like many sectors, it is also navigating rising costs, shifting consumer prices, and increasing competition. Success in business today requires far more than creativity. It demands sound financial management, operational efficiency, strategic partnerships, and the ability to deliver consistent value in an increasingly competitive market. These are the factors shaping which businesses thrive and which struggle to keep up. Joining us this morning is Abisola Odebumi. She's lead planner and founder of Ruby's Event. She's also a chartered accountant whose background in finance brings a unique perspective to building and scaling a business in the event industry. Welcome to the show, Abisola.
Thank you for having me, Elizabeth.
It's good that you're here this morning. I mean, I know all of the work that you're doing in the event industry, but let's move to the heart of today's conversation. The event industry is often viewed as, a creative business, but from an economic standpoint, how significant is it today?
So when people think about events, what they think of is they say the decoration, the beauty, everything. But what people don't think to consider, you have what you is that it's to because do system various people need so various people need so you look in it takes people makeup artists all those people are actually makeup artists all those people are actually embedded in the event system.
So it's an actual it's an entire ecosystem. Look at all of the people that you mentioned that work within this space. You know, that's also the security. We didn't even talk about the security, the bouncers, the guys, the people that do small chops. It's a lot. So an event planner is championing the economy in so many ways, because we have different events. We have the corporates, we have the social events and all of that. But let's go to your background. You built your career in accounting before venturing into entrepreneurship. How has this financial background influenced the way you run your business?
Okay, so for me, right, one of the things that a planner does is you manage the budget of your client. So that's one thing that my finance background has actually helped with. So you get, when I start conversations with clients, I start with, oh, this is what you want to do. What budget are we sticking to? What do you think? And so that's one of the things that I can say I'm really good at. I have spreadsheets for events. We're able to track your expenses. So I call back clients sometimes because, again, especially for weddings, it's quite emotional. So you see a lot of things and you want to go after it. But I call them back and like, oh, this thing that you're doing is way above what we are shooting for. I also want you to spend your money, but if you've told me that this is what you have, I don't want you as my client to actually run into debt, because it comes back to me after the event. So we try to, my accounting background has actually helped in sticking to budget. So it helps with budgeting, financial forecast. So those are things that we bring into the event industry.
Fantastic. And I think it's a very good add-on or a very good background to start with. We said definitely sets you apart from other event planners who don't have that, you know, understanding the spreadsheets, Excel and all of that good stuff. But I imagine that managing people, timelines, the budget simultaneously, which are some of the things that running an event require. I imagine that it would have its challenges. So what would you say are some of the biggest operational challenges that businesses in this industry face today?
The major one, I would say, is people, right? Because as a planner, so let me bring it home. So we have, all of you are in a class. So let's go back to secondary school. So you're in a classroom and then you have a class captain, right? So the class captain kind of directs the other students to what they want them to do. So imagine as a class captain, you have a very stubborn student in your class. So you can imagine how it is to manage that kind of person. So that's how events is, right? So the truth is, as a planner, you bring a lot of vendors into place, right? So if a vendor is not doing what they're meant to do, it falls back to you. And nobody actually thinks of the fact that it's the small chops person that's messed up, or it's the decorator that messes up. In their head, they gave a planner this job. We've had, and I'm sure that every planner can relate to this. You might have done all your best. You've signed contracts with these vendors. You've done everything with them. And on the day, they don't perform well. It falls back to you, because everybody's like, who's the event planner? So one of the major things I would say is the major operational challenge for events is managing people, because that's the core of your business.
People can be a lot. So it's not even the budgets or the timelines, it's the
managing people. Because even for the timeline, it's people that need to stick to the timeline. So you can create timeline, you can do everything you want to do. If you actually don't have people that follow it, you've missed the plot.
You've missed the plot, actually. Now let's talk about inflation, which has affected virtually every business, even media, every business, every part of every side of the economy. How has it challenged or changed customer spending patterns and the way event planners price their services?
Yeah, so for spending patterns, what we've seen nowadays is, so clients are now more aware of what their spending is. So before, you could have people have an open budget and they don't really scrutinize what you're doing. But now you have your clients, they are literally checking everything. why is this like this? Why is this like? So what we've seen, or what one of the things is, they expect greater value now for lesser amounts compared to how it was before. So now everybody's trying to get the greater value for whatever amount it is that they are spending. So you as a planner, you're trying to get the best value for your client. So this is where relationships now come in. So you're trying to make sure that for this little amount, you're trying to get the best out of it. And also, you also don't want to price yourself out of market. Again, my accounting background comes in here because when I want to charge my clients, I know what is going to cost me to make an event come out. So I make sure that right now the margins that we're doing is not as high as it used to be before. Because again, you don't want to price yourself out of the market. So those are the things that we put into play.
And maybe all event planners now have to study accounting.
Yeah, they should come and meet me for masterclass.
They should come meet you for masterclass. But let's also talk about profitability, which can be difficult in a service business. How do successful event companies balance delivering premium services while also protecting their margins?
Okay, so for planners, again, like you said, because the service industry, which I think I've even said one of the things, one of the mistakes you can do is not actually getting your cost right. Because the moment you don't get your cost right, you've lost it. You can do 100 million, 200 million events, and at the end of the day, you actually don't make profit from it if you don't get your costing right. So that's one of the things that planners need to do now, and that's one of the things I do. So I have packages that are already set and developed based on how much I know is going to cost me to plan this event. And when I mean cost, I mean operational cost. So I'm talking transportation, payment of staff, payment of rent. So all those things are already incorporated into each event that we do. So I've done a calculation of this is how many events I need to do this year. This is how much I need to make on this. So yeah, those are the ways that we work on that.
Well done. Let's also talk about technology, which is important. We can't have any conversation these days without speaking about technology, even AI, which is transforming many industries. I mean, technology. How are the digital tools and AI changing the way that events are planned, marketed, and executed?
So now, one of the things, again, some people run away from technology, right? So that it doesn't take them out of the market. But there's a way you can actually incorporate technology and AI into business. So now it reduces your costs. So example, before you're going for a meeting, you need to you see some people go around with 3 staff or they're joining this thing. Now you have AI tools that actually record your meetings for you and summarize it for you. Like, trust me, they do it way better than how we will do it. Yes. So you incorporate that. Now we have digital marketing tools. If you have corporate event that you need to sell tickets, you don't need to employ people or go on the street and market your tickets. We have tools now that do that. Now we have AI tools that do content creation for you. You can actually even time your post on. Nowadays, we don't actually post our content ourselves. Now you have schedules, you can schedule it and all of that. So yeah, it's actually a good mix having AI and technology to help the event planning business.
You said something that I think I must backtrack on. You talked about some people not wanting to make use of technology, perhaps so it doesn't take them out of the market or something. Did I get you right?
How? No, so it's just a thought.
Okay.
I'm sure if you go online now, you see people saying, oh, AI wants to take our job.
Is that not the more reason why they should use it? Or just help me understand the thought process behind thinking, I don't want to make use of technology or AI because I don't want to take it to take my job.
Okay, so example now I gave before now, right? So I mentioned that AI can help you record meetings. So before the use of AI or the advent of AI, you have staff that do that work, right? So AI has taken away that PA or assistant's job in a way, right? But what they don't realize is you can actually have an assistant, and instead of having 2 or 3, one that is actually technology enabled or is aware would actually be the one to set up those AI tools to help you take that. So that's why I brought it up, that people don't know that it can actually help them grow. They're just thinking about, oh, it's going to take my job away. You've
spoken about people, managing people. So that brings me to my next question, which ties into it, because managing people also talks now ties into relationship, which is very important for this ecosystem. Your suppliers, your vendors, and all of that. How important are this partnership and vendor relationships to building a sustainable business?
So this particular question is very key, because a vendor or a stakeholder, because I'll call them stakeholders, they can actually make or mar your event. They are typically responsible for making an event, because again, as a planner, you cannot be the caterer, you cannot be the decorator, you cannot be the usher, you can't be the DJ, right? And remember, I'd mentioned earlier that when people come to an event, how they feel is the planner they think about, not even these people. So imagine having an event whereby all the vendors just mess up. A caterer maybe brought spoiled food and all of that. It's in your name. Anybody that remembers, when they're remembering that event, they're asking who planned this event. You must never use that planner again. Meanwhile, if you have events that went really well, they keep recommending you. And the thing about event planning business is referral goes a long way than any of all these things that we do, to be honest. Referral goes a long way. So managing that relationship is very good, and vendors can be very fun. I know they will listen to me right now, but vendors can be very funny. They know how to frustrate planners.
Why would they do that? Because that's also the relationship we're talking about.
Yeah. So again,
because if it frustrates you, will you give them a job?
Other people give it. So again, managing relationships. Yeah. So we have people that don't know how to maintain those relationships. We have vendors that, because again, I used an example of planners being class captain, right? So secondary school now, imagine having a class captain that is very rude and wicked to you. And you know that if class is dirty or if we make noise, they will flog that class captain. If you want to be mean to the guy, what would you do? You'll make sure that you make noise or everywhere is unruly. So that's the same thing with vendors. But if they know that, oh, this person, again, this job has a lot to do with massaging people's egos, to be honest. You just need to be diplomatic and emotionally intelligent, actually, because again, everybody has their bad days. I have my bad day. I'm sure every planner has their bad day. So you need to know how to manage. I've had events that, Ruby's events, we've had events that the vendors might have messed up one way or the other. The clients won't even know. I have a particular event that you won't believe that I think it was grills or something. The person didn't show up. I kid you not. Like, the person didn't show up.
Why?
The grilling company had called, because again, they also have staff, right? So the griller himself did not show up for that event. Till these very moments, my client didn't know that happened. We went to other grills.
Oh wow.
We ordered, so it was me and the grill, like the grilling company, the CEO. We had that conversation. Okay, what can we do? Bisola, what can we? And I know that it was not their fault, because I've worked with them over time. Do you understand? I could see
that's also the relationship.
Yeah, that's also the relationship. So I could see that, okay, this person is actually trying their best. She was the one that looked for vendors nearby where we were. We ordered all those things. Till these moments, the client does not know.
The griller didn't come, but I mean, this is quite an interesting. But I think this is also another thing where they say you should also know how to do the thing the service that you provide. How about, because you said the company was there, right?
Yeah.
That means the owner was there. So couldn't the person grill?
Not necessarily. The owner wasn't even there, because again, they have a lot of staff. Do you understand? So the owner wasn't necessarily. I don't think she was there. No, she wasn't even there. But again, we needed every other thing, but we needed to get grills, right?
I wonder what happened.
And people are very funny. Staff are very funny. Like, again, people, that's the greatest problem. So yeah, so relationship, again, if I didn't have a good, she could have turned off her phone. Do you understand? And then I start scrambling around and all of that. But we're able to manage that till, and again, till these very moments, the client has no clue
that happened.
That happened, yeah.
Interesting. Let's talk about competition, which has increased significantly over the last few years. What separates the businesses that survive from the ones that truly scale?
So I think everybody should, every business person should strive to create a business that outgrows them, right? So things should be able to happen when you're not there. Not everybody has gotten there, but it's something I feel everybody needs to look to. Even with Ruby's event, that's one of the things I'm trying to build. Groom younger people so that it doesn't have to be me that will be there. That's literally the only thing that can separate a growing business, a business that's going to die tomorrow. Because we've seen businesses that the CEOs die and it still continues.
Yeah.
Every bank didn't start from a big bank. They all started small. So imagine they were thinking small and everything is focused on them. They're not going to scale, right? So I think that's what sets people apart, because there will always be competition. But again, remember that this is Nigeria. Nigeria is big. Everybody has their customer. Everybody. You're going to do. I hope it's Ruby's event that will plan your wedding.
Certainly, you're certainly on the list. Maybe we have more than one planner.
Yeah. So there's always event. There's always corporate event. There's always weddings. There's always birthdays. So like there will always be competition. But what sets you apart is how you've grown your business. You've put structures in place. You've put systems in place. And how you make people feel.
Right.
Because if you do an event and your clients feel good about that event, they are going to, you will literally see clients fight for you to be on the job. We've seen that happen over time, that, oh no, you must put this person must be on board. So yeah, those are the things.
And where do you see some of the biggest opportunities in the coming years for someone who is looking to build an event company today? What are some of the opportunities that you're seeing over the next 5 years that people should look out for?
So what I've seen over the next 5 years, we're going back now to the days of COVID, where people started doing hybrid. I'm just giving an example because there was nothing like that before. Now we have hybrid events. We have literally couples will not even be in the country and then the wedding is holding. Do you get? So I see that coming in a lot of years.
Does that also? Okay, it's not happening yet.
It does, but I'm seeing more of it happening in the next year. I'm seeing more of that because again now with the economy and inflation, people are reducing their guest size just so that they can have their dream wedding. Some people, I also see a lot of destination. I mean, we have that, but I'm seeing more of that to come in the next 5 years.
Even with the economy we're talking about.
So right now, it's actually cheaper to have a destination wedding than a Nigerian wedding.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, audiences know that. How so?
Because Nigerian economy right now, things are pretty expensive. Trust me, an average event or wedding now costs 60, 70, 100 million. Average, not luxury. Yeah.
Average.
I
don't know if this conversation is supposed to give me hypertension or an average. I thought that was supposed to be for a luxury wedding. After this show, I might need to go and sit down, and then we need to learn this so we know what we're doing. Because an average, I was thinking, I would see online, we see on social media, people say, oh, Nigerians just want to spend money on wedding. I had my wedding, people talk about their wedding years back and say, oh, they spent XYZ amount, they spent way less than that amount you're saying to me. So I used to think that is that amount you said. I used to think that was for luxury.
So that was luxury before. But in the reality of Nigeria now, that's
oh my goodness. And this will probably bring you for another conversation, because this is also the reason, we were having a conversation some time ago, and I'm sure you would have even seen data that the data actually shows that many people are not getting married, not because they don't have love or they've not found love or something. It's because of the cost of the wedding.
Yeah.
So that's why some people will just cohabit and just stay together, and then
you see people nowadays they just go to courts and just have dinner or lunch with family and friends and move on.
Damn.
So inflation is really affecting
this is a lot.
Yeah.
This is a lot. But looking ahead now, what are some of the changes that you believe will shape Africa's event industry, and what should businesses be preparing for right now?
AI and technology again, because this actually makes the process seamless, right, for event planning. Because I think an average planner or every planner wants to do things easily with ease, right? So AI and technology, I see that businesses should start preparing for that to help them, and then it reduces the cost of operations on our end too, right? So yeah, AI technology, we should start preparing more for that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Abisola Odebumi, lead planner, founder of Ruby's event. It was truly a delight speaking with you, and I'm hoping that in the next, in a very short time, we can have a conversation again. You know that conversation, and then we plan something.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me, Elizabeth. It's been great being with you guys today.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Up next, we're talking about digitizing businesses and technology again. So stay with us.
For 25 years, Business Day has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot, built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access deeper context instantly. Text-to-speech functionality, allowing you to listen to articles on the go.
The Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos, has recorded an 11.8% growth in air traffic.
Whether you're commuting, driving, or multitasking, Business Day now moves with you. And with our new language translation feature, our journalism becomes even more accessible. You can select your preferred language, thereby expanding reach across diverse audiences in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. This innovation reinforces our commitment to being not just a news platform, but also a smart, accessible, and future-ready business intelligence hub. As we celebrate 25 years of impact, we step confidently into the future, powered by technology, driven by credibility, and focused on you. Visit the new Business Day website today and experience the future of news.
People say time flies when you're enjoying yourself. And I think that's the story of Business Day. 25 years ago, Frank set out to build something Nigeria did not yet have in full measure. A newspaper that's dedicated entirely to the seriousness of business, economics, policy, and all those things that drive society in its all the dimensions that you can imagine. And that was not a small ambition, and it meant betting that Nigeria wanted depth over noise, which I think we do, certainly business people, analysis over sensation, and credibility over convenience. A quarter of a century later, that bet has paid off many, many times over. I think it's fair to say Business Day has become required reading for boardrooms, policymakers, investors, and anyone serious about understanding where the Nigerian economy is headed at any point in time. And what strikes me most, sitting in a privileged position as a member of the editorial board, is the consistency of the paper's character. Business Day has never chased the easy headline, and we debate this. It has stayed true to its founding instinct, that is good journalism in the business and economic space. Realizing that economic space must be rigorously interviewed. It must be independent and unafraid to hold power and capital accountable in equal measure without fear or favor. Now that is a difficult balance to strike in any media environment, and even a lot harder to sustain for 25 years in the Nigeria of today. So I think that consistency is in large part a reflection of Frank himself. His discipline, his insistence on standards, and his quiet but firm belief that institutions outclass individuals when they're built properly. And certainly he's built an institution. And Frank didn't simply start a newspaper. I think he's built an institution with that paper, and one that has culture and a value system that has endured leadership transitions, economic cycles, and the disruption of the entire industry by the digital media, which in itself Frank has embraced. So I think we are celebrating his anniversary. We celebrate Frank, we celebrate Business Day, and not just 25 years of publishing, but 25 years of integrity in a profession that badly needs it in this country. So I think, Frank, it's fair to say congratulations to you and your team. We're extremely proud of you. Like I said, I feel extremely privileged to be part of the editorial board with all the debates and discussions and the many MBA sessions we have when we do meet. But once again,
this is Business Week, a weekly program brought to you by BusinessDay Television.
And we're live from Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, bringing you the latest insight into the stories that matter for business and the economy. I am Deborah Eze.
Onyeka Valentine.
I am Destiny Momo.
My name is Elizabeth Musef.
When you think of business, think no more, think Business Day.
I know that Business Day television will go places. It is the next big thing that will happen to the Nigerian media sector without a shade of doubt.
You're still watching Business Morning Live right here on Business Day Television. My name is Elizabeth Musa. Across Africa, businesses are under increasing pressure to do more with less. Rising costs, changing consumer expectations, and a more competitive marketplace means that operational efficiency is no longer just an advantage, it has become a necessity. While digital transformation has become a popular business buzzword, many organizations still struggle to move beyond basic digitization towards technology that genuinely improves decision-making, workforce productivity, and long-term growth. Our guest today believes that enterprise software should solve real business problems rather than simply automate existing processes. From workforce management to financial technology solutions, he has spent years building digital platforms designed to help organizations operate more efficiently while also positioning African innovation to compete on the global stage. Joining us this morning is Oluwafumini Ojo, is the founder and CEO of Nerfbox. He joins us to discuss how businesses can unlock greater productivity through technology. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
It's good to have you here this morning, and happy Friday to you.
Same to you.
So let's talk about digital transformation, which has become a priority for many businesses. Why do you think that most organizations are still getting it wrong?
Okay. So I think that most times people mistake transformation with automation. Right. So there's a difference between transformation and there's a difference between automation. And everything boils back to what is the culture of the company and what are the decisions being made by the company. So take for instance now, if you automate a particular process, let's say you have a process that takes about 4 memos, right, and you just digitize it, it's still the same 4 memos that needs to be signed. It's just that right now it's being done by clicks. So the bureaucracy is still there. It has not been removed. So automation has been done, but transformation has not been done. So I think when people don't get the thin line between automation and transformation, I think that's where most businesses really get them.
Just real quick, can you just help us to just give us a tag to just understand automation and transformation?
Okay. Transformation is not automation, but automation is part of transformation.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow, such a good way to look at it. And we continue to see that many companies
all we want, and this is success for us, this is progress for us, this is productivity for us. And I think that's
for performance under presence. Anyone that I say that I believe that you don't want resentful employees, like employees that come to the work grumpy cats, you know, that's what I call them. So in my former workplace, I had a colleague who was like this. And you imagine coming on air, she was coming all the way from somewhere in Ogun State, and her office was in VI. And then when she comes, she was nasty, she was cranky to everybody. And I understood, because I'm like, I can't go on that journey. She should enter a bus, do all of these things. And then when she comes, and then she has to go on air. And every that person is, you know, coming from nearby location, the difference is clear. Definitely. And I was like, I'm not sure this is her personality. I think it's just the stress and everything. So, but in that case, right, I mean, she had to be on air. So there were other means that they could have made it easier for her, which was eventually attended to. Okay. Right. So, but now that we're talking about hybrid jobs, there are so many jobs that you can do from home, as against just wasting time. Most times people come to work and then you find that they're just gisting. All this, yeah. And then there's a lot of things that happen that is unnecessary, that takes away from the work. So performance really as against presence. But now let's move on and talk about financial institutions, which are also undergoing rapid digital transformation. What are the biggest opportunities that you see for technology to improve investment and asset management?
A whole lot. I think, like I said, we have an asset management product, Finos, that we service asset management companies with, and I'll speak from that experience of how it has helped. So take for instance now, traditionally, prior to adoption of technology to a very large extent, you will see people say, oh, I'm taking an account opening form to the market. You see a market storm and a couple of other things. People will take the forms, the RMs will take it back to the bank or the company. They have to fill it in. That's even if they have a system that they're using, right? And everything goes, if the KYC is not complete, if something is missing, they have to go back to the customer, and it's a whole lot of back and forth. At the end of the day, let's say I want to invest 100,000 right now, as at the time the relationship manager is marketing the product to me. And by the time we will go back and they do the back and forth for a lot of processes and back and forth, compliance, KYC, and we have spent the money to like 50,000. So if you're coming back, I might just feel like, I'll do it some other time. You understand? So, but now with technology, it helps to make real-time decisions, right? It brings the company closer to people. It brings the company closer to the client. It brings a form of transparency, right? And then it also makes regulations quite easy. So right now you will see that from the comfort of your house. So if I tell you that, oh, Lizzie, there's this platform, there's that platform, and then they have very good investment products and the likes. You can say, okay, I'll check it out right now. You bring out your phone, you download the application, you sign up, your KYC is done in app, real time, and then verifications are done, and then you can proceed to fund your wallet and make that decision right on the spot. So one, I'll say it really makes the whole operation process quite easy. It has transformed how banking has been from time, and then it also makes us investor ready as an ecosystem. So it makes it easy for people to also bring in funding into the ecosystem because they see the growth, they see the transformation, and they're seeing the potential.
And some of the challenges that we also see many African businesses face is integrating new technology with legacy systems. How can these organizations modernize without disrupting day-to-day operations?
Okay, so I think people usually have the idea of, oh, when we're doing a migration, we just want to dump the legacy system. No, the best thing is you don't rip it off, just wrap around it, right? Now you go for the parts that has the major pain points and has a lower risk. And the migration processes are, you can't do it holistically at once. It has to be shipped in phases, so that you ensure that business continuity is very important. You can't say because you're migrating, the whole business should shut down until you guys are done with your migration. Especially when you're dealing with customer funds, when you're dealing with money, when you're dealing with process. Imagine you open your bank and you want to send money to make payments for food, and the bank app is not opening, or you open and your balance is showing 0. Even as much as you feel like, oh, the bank has a branch there and they are not running away, there is a part of you, the African part of you or the Nigerian part of you, that will feel, maybe I should check what's actually going on with these guys and be sure that my money is still safe, right? So to a very large extent, I think most of what people just try to do is try to ship in phases and ensure that the legacy systems, they still run in parallel until you fizzle it out, but they can't continue to run in parallel forever. There needs to be a timeline. So if you are shipping, you need to put timelines to each of those deployments and migration processes so that you can track easily, and then you can ensure business continuity, and then you're good to go at the end of the day.
Okay. Enterprise software is also often associated with large corporations. How can the SMEs leverage or make use of these technologies without significant financial or technical barriers? Because you talked about, dumping some organizations thinking that, oh, we want to dump the legacy system, but there's also the fact that some SMEs think that, software is not for us. It's for, and this is also the kind of conversation we had, because I hosted an event over the weekend, and this were the conversations that we had to some of the young founders, saying that no, it's the same thing you are building, regardless of if your business is small or if your business is big. So really, just talk to me about how they can make use of some of these technologies without significant financial or technological barriers.
So pretty much, I think it still boils down to the first thing I said about decision making. When smart decisions are being made, it makes most of these things a whole lot quite easier. So I give you an instance now. So let's say that you have a big organization, you have an SME. Now, cloud systems, technology in the real sense of it, has made most of those things a whole lot quite easier. And in the sense that, so let's say for instance now, we have a product that speaks to the workforce management of employees, like I said, which is HRM core, that deals with HR tech. Now, there are different packages and different plans that you do. Now, as an SME, you don't just go for the whole package because you feel, oh, we just want to transform our business, or oh, we just want to automate all these processes. You need to look at, oh, what's the pain points? Where do we start from? Okay, this is where we start from at this point. Now, also, as an SME, you don't go for a product that you will need an entire whole IT team to manage, because you won't be able to compete with the big organizations in terms of salary and the likes, but you can still compete with the organizations in terms of care, right? If you have a better system in place that ensures that you service your customers well, you service your employees well, you can connect to your customers, you can give them swift responses, you can attend to their issues on time to a very large extent. It makes most of those processes. So it's just like you have to take baby steps, look at your major pain points, then you move and progress in phases. So you don't go for something that makes you overbloat your team or overbloat your expenses at some point. So you have things that you just pay for subscriptions monthly, and you pay per head count, which also minimizes your costs in a very large extent. And at the end of the day, it's just majorly ensuring that you have a productive team, you are servicing your customers well, and everybody is happy at the end of the day.
Everybody is actually happy. So you've also spoken about building globally competitive enterprise software from Africa. Now, what are the advantages that African technology companies have that we often overlook?
Now, I'm an advocate of build from where you are. So let me give you an instance from that point. Some time ago on our HR application, because we allow payroll is processed on the platform, right? And then also we allow their employees to be able to access advance. So an instance happened. There was a guy that had his fiancée come around over the weekend or something, and then she had a medical emergency sometime around, I think, past 12 to 1. Now, he rushed her to the hospital and he needed to make a down payment at that point. Now, he couldn't pull out the funds. He couldn't use his HMO because they're not married yet, so the HMO does not cover for her. Now, you can't start calling your HR team by past 1 a.m. to call your MD to wake your CFO up that please, something is going wrong. And you can also start calling all of your friends at that point. Even I'm sure he must have called a couple of his friends that couldn't pull up. Now, the guy's salary could actually pay for the medical bill at the end of the month, but the lady's health cannot wait till the end of the month because he needed an urgent attention. So all the guy had to do that, it was just he logged into his employee portal. He was able to get an advance and was able to make that payment. Now he's coming back to the workplace the next day. His ego is intact. His head is straight, right? He's not looking at, oh, everybody knows I had to take loan yesterday. Everybody knows that I had an issue yesterday and everything. So it's coming productive. These are metrics you don't see on the dashboard, but these are actually things that cause transformation. So when I say build from your ecosystem first, we looked at the ecosystem that we have in Nigeria. A proper 9 to 5 right now, yourself, myself, we can't say, oh, we need an urgent fund right now. So let's say you want to do something and maybe you want to buy something, house utensils or something, and then you're seeing a very good offer, but you'll be able to pay for it at the end of the month. It's like, but that offer cannot wait for you. So things that, opportunities that you could have maximized. We've had instances of parents that had to take the advance so that the kids will not stay out of school till the month end. Right. So when I say you build for your ecosystem, you look at your ecosystem. What are the pain points? So a business person might still be able to enjoy some access to funding as a business person, but a corporate person, before you go to bank and this, you ask for your offer letter, your HR must sign, everybody must sign. At some point, everybody feels, bro, are you the only one going through loans? Yeah. So, but when you understand your ecosystem, you understand the needs of people, you understand the pain points, and you see how you can come into this. So that is one of our biggest strengths when you're building from Africa. I'm a very big advocate of build from where you are right now, because when you test what you have in your immediate environment and it's proven that this actually solves a problem and meets a need, it's easier for you to scale beyond that ecosystem, that community, and then beyond borders.
Absolutely. We'll take a quick break right now and be back for more. We're still speaking on digitizing businesses in Africa. Do stay with us.
For 25 years, BusinessDay has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot, built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access deeper context instantly. Text-to-speech functionality, allowing you to listen to articles on the go.
The Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos, has recorded an 11.8% growth in air traffic.
Whether you're commuting, driving, or multitasking, BusinessDay now moves with you. And with our new language translation feature, our journalism becomes even more accessible. You can select your preferred language, thereby expanding reach across diverse audiences in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. This innovation reinforces our commitment to being not just a news platform, but also a smart, accessible, and future-ready business intelligence hub. As we celebrate 25 years of impact, we step confidently into the future, powered by technology, driven by credibility, and focused on you. Visit the new BusinessDay website today and experience the future of news.
You're still watching the Business Morning Live right here on Business Day Television. Just before we went on the break, we were talking about some of the opportunities for African technology and how African technology can be better used. But I think it's important for me to ask you this question, which I think is really important. We talked about digital automation itself and transformation, and digital transformation having become a priority for many businesses. So I think it's important to ask you where you think most of the organizations are still getting it wrong.
Okay, so from my perspective, I think I would say that not being able to draw the line or know the difference between transformation and automation. So I'll give you a use case in a process whereby to send a memo, 4 people need to sign off on it before the memo goes out, right? So now, if you say you're bringing in technology, and then the only difference is just that rather than they signing off on it on papers, they are just going to click to approve. So it's still going through the same 4 approvers. It's just that this time it's just being done with clicks, right? Nothing has been transformed, but the process has been automated because the bureaucracy still exists. Right, and it's still going to take that long process to get things done. So being able to say that, okay, what work have we been able to remove from the process? Like, what are we doing better on? And when you say, okay, for the past 3 months we've been using this technology, what were we doing before that we are not doing right now? And you can pinpoint that, oh, this we were doing before but we are not doing it right now, but the process is more effective. That is when transformation happens. But transformation does not necessarily equate to automation. Do you understand? So, but automation is a process or a part of transformation. But transformation is not always equal to automation.
Automation is a part of transformation, but transformation does not always equate to automation. That's a very good way to just keep it ringing in our heads. Now, what would you say separates the successful digital transformation from expensive technology adoption?
I would say culture, I would say decision making, and then I would say the strategy, right? So for some companies that say, oh, okay, we're just buying technology. Now, it's not just about buying the technology. Now, the technology that we're buying, it will give us data, right? We'll have records, then it will save us time. We have more time to do better things, and that is where we can now bring in a better strategy into doing things. So some companies just feel, let's just get technology. They can't pinpoint the bottlenecks that the technology is actually coming to address, and they're not working with the data that they have. They're not maximizing the time that it's saving them. They just say that, oh, we're just clicking things now and then it's done faster. So, but what do we do from here? Where do we go from here? And it's about actually making that decision. So the decision behind those things actually separates the successful companies and the ones that are yet to be successful.
Yes, and speaking about what differentiates the successful companies and the ones yet to be successful, we also need to talk about workforce management, which we've seen that has become increasingly complex, particularly with hybrid work models and evolving employee expectations. What are some of the things that business leaders should be prioritizing right now? Okay,
so they need to actually be able to say that what drives us as a company. They need to be able to put on their own metrics. So like you said, managing a workforce, we have a tool for that manage the workforce operations. Funny enough, we are in a very unique place because we have products that speaks to the most important and the most expensive assets of a company, which are the people and their capital, majorly. So now when you're saying that being able to manage the workforce effectively, they need to be able to say these are the metrics. Now they need to have systems in place that brings transparency. So it's not just about the pay, right? Now when you're paying people, are you paying them on time? If you're paying their salaries, is it on time, or you have to go through, oh, we're working on it day 2, day 3, day 4, and it's it's like a God that beg kind of thing. Like you're waiting that when will this salary come and everything. So now it's about their structure, their culture. If you're saying this is how this happened, this is how this happened, everybody understands a clear cut to it. So if there are performance metrics, let it be clear. So I know that I'm staying in this company. This is what I have to do to be able to move from this place to that place. So it gives people a form of comfort. It brings a form of transparency to the whole workspace, and then people know what to expect. There's no vibes and it might work, it might not work.
Okay, inshallah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like me say,
so it's a clear cut of structure, it's a clear cut of culture, it's a clear cut of their process.
And looking ahead, what are some of the trends that you believe will define the next phase of enterprise technology across Africa, and how should businesses be prepared today?
The trend is with the adoption of AI, introduction of AI. Now we have moved from a place whereby your software is just storing data to your software actually processing data, and then your software actually making recommendations based on the data that you have. So we're already approaching that trend, and then adoption is really getting to a very large percentage, and people are really getting used to the old culture and space thing. So, but what I would say is the adoption of AI is actually a trend that has come to stay, and it's going to reshape how the old workspace, like your ChatGPT, your cloud and the likes, now they are more like mentors to people, partners at work. In fact, it can be your whole team that you speak to that can perform different tasks and everything and recommend. But majorly, how we can also be prepared for that is we have clean data, because it's what you feed the tools with, is what you feed the AI tools with that they give back to you. So if you take for instance a ChatGPT with garbage, it will still give you a reformed garbage. It's just well packaged. It will agree with you on a lot of things that are even wrong, because that is the data you fed it with. So we need to also be positioned in the sense that we need to have clean data, we need to have clean record, and we need to have structures around those things that ensures that even as we're adopting a new era, and we're getting to the place whereby businesses, workplaces, workforces are transitioning into getting job done better, easier, and having a more productive ecosystem, we also need to be able to say that we are becoming ready, or we are ready to start maximizing these opportunities, and then we should also be ready for better adoption.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us, Oluwafumini Ojo, founder and CEO of Nerfbox. This was a very great conversation, and I'm hoping that the viewers are taking out very important lessons from today's episode, but hopefully we'll have you some other time.
I look forward to that.
This is still Business Morning Live right here on Business Day Television. Up next is Social Listening. Do stay with us.
I am, of course, a great admirer of the impeccable credibility, professionalism, and business savviness of BusinessDay. If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications. From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision-makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, Business Day fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities, with millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria. Business Day is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. If you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape, Business Day is your guide.
At Providus Bank, we're committed to your growth and success. You're never alone on the journey. Our personalized relationship banking is how we do things together. It's what sets us apart. We value every individual and partnership and treat them as such. We're committed to helping you grow and celebrating your success. This is your life story, your future, your forward. This is all about you. Let's move you forward. Providus Bank.
This is Business Week, a weekly program brought to you by BusinessDay Television.
And we're live from Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, bringing you the latest insight into the stories that matter for business and the economy. I am Deborah Eze.
Onyeka Valentine.
I am Destiny Momo.
My name is Elizabeth Moses.
When you think of business, think no more, think Business Day.
I know that Business Day television will go places. It is the next big thing that will happen to the Nigerian media sector without a shade of doubt.
Attention business leaders. Want to make informed decisions? Join the ranks of the best with Premium Business Day. Access in-depth analysis and expert opinions to stay ahead. Subscribe now at premium.businessday.ng and unlock premium content. Plus, you get 50% off your first subscription. Don't miss out. Make smarter choices and seize new opportunities. Sign up now and elevate your business game. Visit premium.businessday.ng today.
For 25 years, Business Day has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot, built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access deeper context instantly. Text-to-speech functionality, allowing you to listen to articles on the go.
The Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos, has recorded an 11.8% growth in air traffic.
Whether you're commuting, driving, or multitasking, Business Day now moves with you. And with our new language translation feature, our journalism becomes even more accessible. You can select your preferred language, thereby expanding reach across diverse audiences in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. This innovation reinforces our commitment to being not just a news platform, but also a smart, accessible, and future-ready business intelligence hub. As we celebrate 25 years of impact, we step confidently into the future, powered by technology, driven by credibility, and focused on you. Visit the new Business Day website today and experience the future of news.
This is still the Business Day CEO Forum, the 14th annual edition, and I'm still speaking to the CEOs, business leaders in the room, and it's been a very insightful conversation so far. Right now, I have the partner tax at KPMG, Mr. Dayo Adeniji. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
I'm going to start by asking what some of the key insights and takeaways you've gotten from this event. I mean, you've been here for the entire day, so just share with me some of the things that we must learn.
Well, some of the key insights for me have been around ensuring that we have shared prosperity. There needs to be growth. We have to grow. There are a lot of reforms that, we've been going through a lot of reforms in the country, and those reforms are with a view to ensuring that we have a bigger economy, which will then ensure that we have shared prosperity. But that cannot happen unless we're a productive economy. For us to have a productive economy, a lot of things must happen, and those are some of the things that we've been discussing around things around logistics, energy issues. There was a session on energy. The session that I also moderated, there was talks around energy and some of the issues with infrastructure. So for me, it's that the goals that have been set out to be achieved can be achieved, but a lot needs to happen.
My final question, because we have to hit the home run, my final question will be, if you were to come back here in 2027, what's one thing that you hope would have changed in the 12 months?
Well, for me, I hope that we would have more stable energy. For a lot of companies that are involved in manufacturing and production, energy is one of the main issues that they face. In fact, the MD of NASCON did mention that the cost of energy takes a huge chunk of their cost of production. So if there's a way, hopefully, if that can be moderated or if that can be managed, I think that would be huge. I think the other thing also is around the currency. I know there's a lot of stability with currency, but if the currency achieves a bit more value, perhaps some of the things that we import, which enables us to produce, will be a bit cheaper. So I think for me, those are the two main things that I would look out for.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
We're still here at the Business Day CEO Forum, the 14th edition, and I'm still speaking to our leaders here in the hall, and I'm speaking now with the DG CEO of the Miriam Babangida National Center for Women Development, Dr. Adedayo Benjamin Lani. It's good to have you seated here with us today.
Great to be here.
Thank you so much for honoring our invite. So let's talk about the theme for this year's event, which is from stability to shared prosperity. I'm very curious to know what shared prosperity, or moving from stability to shared prosperity, what it means for you.
It's the assignment in terms of the Women O'Clock reference of the Honorable Minister Iman Suleiman Ibrahim FSI, that it is now time for that socio-economic TikTok representation of women in the pipeline and intersection of repurposing gross domestic product from just being an economic index to be a community impact index through the development that investing in women and a woman bring to community. We have 774 communities. That is 774 local government areas with our mothers, our Iyalakaras, the Kosei sellers, the entire informal economy, which during the KPMG presentation clearly indicated that 80.7% is women of that GDP. And that labor market, as well as the reference gender index, is not about a women's agenda. It is about shared prosperity. For me, the excitement as the DG CEO for the Mariam Babangida National Center for Women's and National Development is about centering women at the center, women at the pivot of national development, not just as recipients of grants, beneficiaries of some palliatives, but as leaders redirecting the focus as well as the very strategically designed impact of prosperity from the place of stability, like we heard the Honorable Minister say, in terms of repurposing the workforce to those of employable reference and representation, the greater number being women, and the adolescent girl child scaling through their foremost graduating positions these days in Nigerian universities. A lot of the top performing graduates are girls. And we're finding that this, however, does bring us to a place where we have to redirect our investment in the boy child. So it's not just about the girl child. I'm just saying that because even as the CEO for women, I'm a CEO for raising a generation as a woman who's mothering nations through the pipeline of her political activation and appointation. So for me, it's a whole vista of opportunity. From stability to shared prosperity is actually economic language. But the truth of the matter, what it is the fact that shared prosperity is 774 communities. I served as the pioneer mandate secretary for women, that's Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs of the Federal Capital Territory, for 2 years and 6 months. It was from that position that I was promoted and elevated to this position as DG. And what that gave me was access to a profiling of how communities are the pivot of economies. And through women, you have the pipeline for development. Again, I say, a women's agenda is not about gender. It is about development. It is about leadership. It is about policy governance, implementation, operationalization. It's not just about, stop gender-based violence, but much more than that. When you understand that period poverty is poverty, when you understand that water and sanitation health poverty is poverty, and that the most implicated in this is always the woman, the girl child, the person with these vulnerable communities. Communities are vulnerable because women have not been empowered and given that equitable status of economic representation and training. I would say if you don't train them, don't blame them. So it's much more than being a member of an adagio where at the traditional cultural baseline community, women gather money together and use it over an annual reference of their being in the cluster. It's more about financial training, literacy training, those monetary principles in basics that teach you how to make money, earn money, save money, invest money, and then have money built up as legacy, invested as legacy, not just for you and your family, your children, but for community. So that way, the shared prosperity is legacy. It's shared legacy. So from being, if you become the mother of Africa, where did you start from? You were a baby girl. You're a girl child. You've come through different experiences. And I say, every woman in Africa understands she's got to package her market and market her package if she's really going to catch the market. So the reality, therefore, for me and the excitement of this conference is, as a CEO, just as we're challenged by the Honorable Minister of Finance, is we are co-authors, co-creators, co-laborers, co-lab techs in the collaboration of creating this whole new nation of shared prosperity.
Right. And there's something you said which stuck out to me, is that you said we're not just talking about shared prosperity but also shared legacy. If there is something you'd say if you could remove a barrier hindering women right now to reach, this shared prosperity we're talking about, what's that barrier that you'll be?
It's mental. The greatest barrier of every woman is her mindset. It's the orientation towards money, but not just towards money, it's towards herself. And how do I know this so well? It's been my experience. It's my experiential barrier that I had to break through. I mean, I was raised in a family in the first place that our parents would tell us that in this family, we don't make money. We have good name. We don't have money. So I grew up with this as a child. And then one day something me said, no way, I don't just want a good name. I want to make money. Now, it may seem like an ordinary statement. That to me, other women have other things they've been told. You're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not connected enough. Oh, you've got to have so many followers before you can have that much business. There's so many. We listen to all the reasons why you cannot break through, when all you need is the mindset, one thought that one day tells you, you know what, I am good enough, or I may not be good enough yet, but I'm good enough for now. So you begin where you're at. You learn to package your market. For me, the greatest barrier is not the fact that, oh, we have a patriarchy, we have glass ceilings, oh, we don't have the seats at the National Assembly. Girl, I got my seat where I am, and I set up a table. And let me put it like this. He said he sets the table before you in the presence of your enemies. He anoints your head with oil. I'm getting prophetic because honestly, really, women, whoever we are, by tribe, by religion, by faith, by political, partisan, whatever representation, if we can just get it, we will truly clock it. Women, the only barrier that we have is our mindset. Once we get it, we'll move as one. You get over the fact that women don't support women. Because you become the one woman you know who will support a woman you do not know. Did you hear me? Support a woman you do not know. Go find that woman in your community, in your school, in your office, who's at your gate. Like I say, I'm the Omalakara of the year Lakara who started the whole Akara conversation. Why? Because I gave a report of the assignment I was given by Her Excellency the First Lady. I did a whole event saying, Your Excellency, ma, you gave me the privilege of serving as the coordinator of the Renewed Hope Initiative in the Federal Capital Territory, while at the same time I served as the Pioneer Mandate Secretary Honorable Commissioner for 2 years and 6 months. While I did that, this money you gave me and investments for health, for traders, for farmers, for persons with disabilities, for elders, for communities, I took it to the people. Today, I am bringing back a report of 27,346 or whatever numbers of women who actually benefited from this, one of whom is this Mariam Akara girl who, and the next thing it became this blow up. But the reality is this, when you do what you do, and you can prove it, you can show it, then truly you have shared prosperity.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Adedayo Benjamin Lani. Thank you for stopping by.
And I'm so grateful. Congratulations to all of you too.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for encouraging me too.
Thank you.
I've walked the walk so you can all run.
Absolutely.
And now I'm telling all of you, I am running, so everybody fly.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Nigeria, a land of boundless energy, driven by the pulse of over 200 million dreams. At the heart of this momentum stands a giant, Seplat Energy, an indigenous powerhouse accounting for a vital share of Nigeria's oil and gas output, propelled by the historic acquisition milestone with the acquisition of ExxonMobil's onshore and shallow water assets, significantly expanding its production capacity and marking its entry into offshore operations. We are the engine of prosperity, Nigeria's leading domestic gas supplier with a total gas production output of 2.7 billion cubic feet and the landmark Ano gas project delivering first gas. We have elevated our total processed gas output to 855 million standard cubic feet per day onshore. Indeed, we have brought domestic gas utilization to new heights, powering industries and securing energy for millions. But we are not just growing production, we're growing responsibly. By ending routine flares, we are decarbonizing our operations today to protect the Nigeria of tomorrow. Our reach is expanding. From offshore gas distribution to the growth of CNG for transport and industry, we are deepening our presence across the entire value chain. Our impact reaches the grassroots. Through innovative mini-grid projects, we are bringing clean, reliable energy to local communities, fueling economic empowerment where it's needed most. We are more than an energy company. We are a partner in progress, a leader in the energy transition, a giant rooted in Nigeria for Nigeria. Seplat Energy, leading Nigeria's energy transition, powering the future.
Looking for fast and reliable answers to your business and economic questions? Meet SIA, BusinessDay's Strategic Intelligence Assistant, Nigeria's first AI-powered news chatbot. Simply visit businessday.ng, click the SIA chat icon, and ask your question in plain language. Whether it's inflation, market trends, company insights, government policies, or personal finance, SIA delivers instant answers powered by BusinessDay's trusted journalism. Smarter insights, faster decisions. Visit businessday.ng today and discover the future of business intelligence with SIA.
I am, of course, a great admirer of the technical credibility, professionalism, and business savviness of BusinessDay. If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications. From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision-makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, BusinessDay fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities, with millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria. Business Day is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. If you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape, Business Day is your guide.
If it's sparking conversations, then we're bringing it to your seat. Welcome to the social listening segment right here on Business Morning Live, where we bring you the stories, debate, and movement generating conversations across social media. I am Elizabeth Musa, and now let's get into what is making waves online. For our very first conversation today, dozens of residents were seen scrambling to scoop fuel from a leaking tanker along the City Gate area of Asaba, Delta State, despite the danger of a possible explosion. Now, video circulating on X on Thursday showed men and women carrying buckets, jerry cans, and other containers as they rushed to collect the spilling fuel from the tanker. Now, the incident reportedly occurred after the tanker began leaking its content, attracting a large crowd to the scene. The development has raised safety concerns as fuel spillage involving tankers have previously resulted in deadly explosions in different parts of the country. Let's see some of the reactions on social media. Now, you see the leaking. First of all, that's the tanker right there, but you can see residents, passers-by, with buckets and jerry cans trying to scoop fuel. They've spoken a lot. They've sensitized the public about the dangers of doing this, because that tanker that you are seeing can literally explode. But I don't think that people will remember these things when they are doing these things, or maybe they just take it for granted, hoping that it will not happen in their time. But let's see some of the comments on social media and see how Nigerians are reacting to this conversation. Ben OT says, fuel isn't worth risking your life for. We've seen too many tragedies start exactly like this. One spark is all it takes. Please stay away from accident scenes. I agree with you, Ben OT. That's some OT. That's some street OT right there. But I think people don't remember these things when they get on the streets, because when you think about the situation, the socio-economic condition of an average Nigerian on the streets. What do I mean on the streets? An average Nigerian everywhere had, living in multi-dimensional poverty. The line is literally blurred. So you see things like that, and you see people, even educated people, it's not like they don't know, but they're just hoping, right? Hoping that, it doesn't explode whilst they're there. And my prayer, honestly, my honest prayer and hope is that this tanker situation, this thing stop happening, so that at least that's one less problem to deal with, right? That's my hope and prayer. Let's see some of the comments. Let's see more reactions on social media to this story. Jabri says, free fuel today, funeral tomorrow. This exact scene has ended with explosions more times than we can count in Nigeria. One spark, one phone, one cigarette, and it's over. Exactly. Hardship is real, but no amount of petrol is worth your life or your children's. Please leave that tanker alone. This person rightly just put it, the hardship, the conditions. Honestly, I'm not going to fault those guys. I'm just going to say, as much as possible, let's avoid these situations with tankers. Kenny says you should know how bad things are when people do things like this, knowing fully well, keyword, knowing fully well that there's a good chance of an explosion and their instant death. Honestly, I'm saying that's my exact grievance, that it's not like these people don't know. Many of the people there are just doing those things because of the hardship, and they're hoping that, while I'm scooping this thing, this doesn't happen. That's the average person that is scooping fuel from that tanker with the spillage is hoping that nothing happens in the process. It's not that they don't know, and that speaks to the hardship in the country. There's so much hardship, and it's really sad. It saddens me to see that story. It saddened me to see that, but thankfully nothing happened. There was no explosion. Thankful for that. But as much as possible, we need to guard against these tankers. We need to guard against this thing happening over and over again. It keeps happening over and over again. We keep seeing the cases where you would see this, you would see a tanker, what's the word, you will see a collision, you see all of this, and then you see fuel spillage. Let's guard against it. That's my only final. And as much as possible, like that, the commenter says, no amount of fuel, whether 2 buckets, is worth your life. But as much as possible, let these spillages stop. I'll leave that comment there. I'll leave that conversation there and move to our next conversation today, where hundreds of commuters and motorists have been left stranded after floodwaters submerged a section of the Ore-Benin Road along the Lagos-Benin Expressway. This caused massive traffic gridlock and disrupted movement on the busiest highways. Now, this flooding, triggered by hours of torrential rainfall, forced vehicles to move slowly through the submerged section, while many others remain trapped in long queues stretching several kilometers. Now, some passengers in one of the footages were seen waiting by the roadside, while others expressed frustration over the recurring flooding on the strategic highway, which serves as a major gateway linking Ondo, Lagos, and the southwest to Edo State and the south-south region. You see the video there. Honestly, when you're on the news every morning, it's just tiring. We just finished up talking about spillages, right? Spillages with tankers, which we are seeing often, more often than not. And then we're dealing with flooding in Nigeria, because before now, it used to be Lagos State we're talking about, but we're just seeing the situation. What is going on a highway as busy as this, a highway that is a major gateway? We keep talking about improving Nigeria's economy, increasing trade, encouraging trade from other countries, interstate, intra-African trade, international trade. Is this how we're going to get there? Because Ondo State has palm, right? If the people that suppose now we want to say, let's work, let's encourage palm plantations, let's encourage more people to go into palm oil, let's encourage other African neighboring African countries and not neighboring African countries to come to Nigeria. Let's encourage the Western world to come to Nigeria and invest. Imagine one of those people on this highway and this thing going on. We're still talking about insecurity. And now we'll move from insecurity, we're talking about flooding in a major highway, a major gateway, which means a major economic junction. How do we even reconcile this situation? How do we even explain it to someone out there? This is enough to say, if I was an investor, I'm going to say, oh, is this the situation here? So I'm going to be trapped in flood because I want to go and look at a plantation. These are the questions. These are the things. I don't know what is even causing that the flooding on Ore. But I remember Ore clearly. Ore is bustling with activity. People are moving to Ondo State. You pass there to Benin. These are the places where we have oil. And I'm not, we're talking palm plantations. These are the places we have plantain. What are we talking about? Plantain plantations. All of these things are literally what we're talking about. Agriculture. These are the places where we have all of this produce. And then look at what's happening on the road. Let's see some of the reactions on social media and see how Nigerians are reacting to this conversation, because honestly, I don't want it to just be me speaking in this studio today, because it's actually frustrating. Irechukwu Clinton says, but PBAT, which is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, said that let state governors stop building flyover and invest on welfare and insecurity. Now, to move from one place to another can't be problem. Exactly my point. I beg, make una dey balance everything, no leave one for one. Everything is necessary to make life easy. I keep saying this thing. That person just took the words out of my mouth. we are still talking about, I was just speaking about spillages. Now we're talking about flood on a major highway. Before we know, we talk about, oh, can we make a road? You now do the road. It's another thing that it leads to. It's almost like this, when there's something to fix, they fix that and neglect another thing. They leave out one thing, they come to one thing, fix it, and renege on the previous one. How are we moving? It's like we take one step forward and take 10 steps backward. That's what I'm seeing. Let's see more reactions to this conversation on social media, and Nigerians are reacting. Nova Paul says this is why proper drainage and regular road maintenance are so important. Exactly. Hoping everyone's trying to get to safety and the affected section is cleared as quickly as possible. More reactions to this story. Nwachik says, prayer will not help. This is an opportunity to create an engineering marvel. This phenomenon is not new, but we lack thinkers in government in Nigeria. The outcome of this is that the road will break down in less than 9 months. Exactly. So, High Chief says, this is what happens when the project minister chooses to operate carelessly. How does a full-fledged engineer tamper a full-blown ocean with zero plan? It is careless. And now the general public are paying for the error of one person. We can do better come 2027. It's a systemic issue because it's not one person that does it. Sometimes one person cannot change an entire system that is already messed up. When the foundation is bad, it's just crazy. So I'm not even going to, I will put some blame on the minister or whatnot, but my larger blame, the most blame is on the government, right? It's on the government because we can't keep, even the scripture says, will somebody build, right, without taking to cognizance, you take to cognizance the foundation, so many other things. You don't just go and build. And this is what we're talking about when we also talk about the coastal highway right here in Lagos, Nigeria. The coastal highway has led to so much flooding in areas that normally doesn't flood. We're seeing areas like Ologolo flooding. We're seeing areas like some areas in Ikate flooding. Areas that don't flood, areas in Jakonde flooding. These are the issues. These are the issues. And we can't keep having situations where one project, a new government comes into the power, and they decide, oh, we want to embark on this project. And then in embarking on that project, you now decide, fully well, or is it that you don't count the cost? I have so many questions. Or is it that, it's just done without thinking? Maybe it's an error on their part, and they just do something that is supposed to be creating a solution, but unfortunately, the solution now becomes a problem. Is it possible? But if that's the case, then we have a problem in Nigeria. I already know we have a problem, but this problem, that means it's entrenched and it needs to be fixed. And this fixing is not one person, it's a systemic fixing. I'll leave it at that. Let's move on to our final conversation today in the world of entertainment. Now, South African singer Tyler Laura Seathel, popularly known as Tyler, has sparked mixed reactions after announcing a Lagos stop on our A-pop world tour, with some Nigerians calling for a boycott over a renewed report of xenophobic attacks against Nigerians living in South Africa. Now, the Grammy Award-winning singer announced on Monday that she will perform in Lagos on December 22nd. Now, the tour will wrap up with shows in Cape Town on January 4 and Johannesburg on January 9. Our announcements quickly ignited debate on social media, where users expressed opposing views on whether the concert should go ahead. While some Nigerians argue that the concert should be boycotted in solidarity with victims of the reported attacks, others maintain that entertainers should not be held responsible for the actions of government or citizens. Now, we spoke about spillage in the oil and gas sector. We moved on to speak about flood. Now, we are talking about, in the world of entertainment now, we are talking about disunity between two brothers. And honestly, this is not Nigeria's fault. We're seeing what's going on in South Africa, the xenophobic attacks, the hate towards our fellow brothers. Honestly, anytime I come on this seat and I have to speak about this, I speak about it with such a heavy heart, because we shouldn't be this. South Africa and Nigeria has so much potential. We should be working together. We're the giants, right? So imagine these two. It's a twin engine. Imagine this twin engine working together. Africa will be moving forward. But here we are. Instead, some unscrupulous elements decide that they don't want peace. They don't want the fellow Africans in their country. They don't want this, and this is where it has led us. Tyler we should be enjoying some love. I don't blame the people saying that let's stand in solidarity, because apparently, I don't know how to treat an artist, was it Davido? I'm not sure. And a Nigerian artist was supposed to go to South Africa and they were denied. They were denied. The entire team was denied visas. And like we say in Nigeria, aura for aura. That's what they're trying to do. And it's not just aura for aura. It's also trying to pass a strong message that, oh, if this is what we're doing, then we're doing. Because it's also important to say, guys, this thing we're doing, it can't continue. I think the most grievance that many Nigerians have is the fact that Tyler, which is a sweetheart, I love Tyler. Everyone knows I absolutely love her music. I love her sound. I love everything about her. But just a simple tweet about the attacks. Just a simple video speaking about the attacks. Just a simple message on a stage speaking about the attacks. None of this has been done. And I think that's what hurts many Nigerians a lot, that it seems like we seem to be the sweet brother and sister that accept anything, that lets things fly. And it's like, for once, can we just stand in solidarity and say, no, this is not going to happen. Let's encourage our brothers and sisters and all of that. But this is not going to happen, because it's just to show solidarity. But I saw this morning, earlier today, just an update that the tour has been cancelled. The tour for Lagos has been cancelled. So maybe the team saw what people were saying and they decided, you know what, let's cancel. But I don't think that's enough. I think this is also the time for them to also at least just come out and say something. Just show that we are one. Show that you care about the situation. Show that you're concerned about the situation, instead of just leaving things be like that. That's what I think the team should do now, as against just canceling. Say something. Silence sometimes can show complicity, and I think that's why I'll leave it. But let's check out some of the comments on social media and see how Nigerians are reacting to this conversation. Miguel says, we need to stop acting like we do not have self-respect as a nation. Let her stay back in South Africa and perform for the people she chose to protect with her silence. Exactly what I said about silence. Do we have more reactions? Omotoyosi says, Nigerians have the right to boycott our show. They will send a strong message to Tyler and our colleagues to speak up against the injustice against fellow Africans that is happening in South Africa. Miss Faye says, I get the frustration. If she can't speak up against the xenophobia Nigerians face in South Africa, I don't see why she should expect support from Nigerians. Just like I said, silence can sometimes mean complicity, and it doesn't. I mean, they say silence is the best answer for a fool, but there's no fool here. So in this case, silence can be looked at as complicity. So I would just say that Tyler and her team should perhaps just reach the drawing board. And this is not just to Tyler, this is to all entertainers, because entertainment now seems to be where everyone is just trying to draw strength from right now, because things are tough, not just in Nigeria, across the world. So people want music, people want fashion, people want all of these things that just keep us the sweet spots to life. So if our entertainers are no, just make a statement. I know you're not government, just make a statement, show concern, don't just be quiet. I guess that's just what Nigerians want. That's the only thing that we're asking for right now, because look at, it's a lot to deal with. Chidima Adesina, look at what she's facing. That's South African Nigerian based in South Africa. Is it a mother or a father that is a South African? But South Africans are saying, we don't want you, go back to Nigeria. After Nigeria accepted her to come and do Miss Universe. after they disown that. That's not just it's so much. You know, we had a dialogue yesterday at the South Africa Nigeria Chamber of Commerce breakfast meeting, and some questions were asked, some were answered, some were not answered, some are still left hanging. And we're hoping, you know, when we have these conversations, we really want that our relationship is strengthened. We don't want that our relationship gets weakened. But that's what it's looking like. It looks like you are the one that is just used, you know, becoming a means to an end. Then when there are situations that need to be spoken about, then everybody just keeps quiet. Because when you need me, I will open my arms for you and be like, oh, my sweet. That's not what Nigerians want. Nigerians want at least show, and this is not just for Nigeria, if it's happening in any part of the world, at least as an entertainer that happens to, because now you're a voice of influence, speak on it. That's all that's the least you can do, because silence can sometimes look like complicity. But that's why we'll leave it this morning on the social listening segment here on Business Day, Business Morning Live. It's been such a great conversation, from the news in the morning, that business morning news, to of course the newspaper review with our in-house analyst Mohammed Akonji, to obviously the conversations we had from event planning as a business to speaking about digitizing businesses, which is important right now. We talk a lot about how technology is transforming business, AI is transforming businesses, digitizing is transforming businesses, and of course we've now spoken about some of the stories making the rounds on social media, xenophobic attacks, the spillage, and how Nigerians can be much more sensitive towards how they, when they see this spillage, don't go, they act responsibly. That's all I'm going to say. It's not ideal, it's not healthy, it's not safe. I think that's the word. It's not safe to go and be taking your bucket and jerry cans to take oil from a spilling vehicle, regardless of how much the hardship is. It's not worth your life. And then we also spoke about the flooding in the Ore Road, which leads to Ondo State, Edo State, and comes to Lagos. We've spoken about that. All of this on Business Morning Live today. It's been such a pleasure that you joined us this morning. My name is Elizabeth Musa. Until next week, stay safe.
I am, of course, a great admirer of the impeccable credibility, professionalism, and business savviness of BusinessDay. If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications. From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, Business Day fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities, with millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria. Business Day is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. If you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape, Business Day is your guide.
Nigeria, a land of boundless energy, driven by the pulse of over 200 million dreams. At the heart of this momentum stands a giant, Seplat Energy, an indigenous powerhouse accounting for a vital share of Nigeria's oil and gas output, propelled by the historic acquisition milestone with the acquisition of ExxonMobil's onshore and shallow water assets, significantly expanding its production capacity and marking its entry into offshore operations. We are the engine of prosperity, Nigeria's leading domestic gas supplier with a total gas production output of 2.7 billion cubic feet and the landmark Ano gas project delivering first gas. We have elevated our total processed gas output to 855 million standard cubic feet per day onshore. Indeed, we have brought domestic gas utilization to new heights, powering industries and securing energy for millions. But we are not just growing production, we're growing responsibly. By ending routine flares, we are decarbonizing our operations today to protect the Nigeria of tomorrow. Our reach is expanding. From offshore gas distribution to the growth of CNG for transport and industry, we are deepening our presence across the entire value chain. Our impact reaches the grassroots. Through innovative mini-grid projects, we are bringing clean, reliable energy to local communities, fueling economic empowerment where it's needed most. We are more than an energy company. We are a partner in progress, a leader in the energy transition, a giant rooted in Nigeria for Nigeria. Seplat Energy, leading Nigeria's energy transition, powering the future.
Looking for fast and reliable answers to your business and economic questions? Meet SIA, Business Day's Strategic Intelligence Assistant, Nigeria's first AI-powered news chatbot. Simply visit businessday.ng, click the SIA chat icon, and ask your question in plain language. Whether it's inflation, market trends, company insights, government policies, or personal finance, SIA delivers instant answers powered by Business Day's trusted journalism. Smarter insights, faster decisions. Visit businessday.ng today and discover the future of business intelligence with SIA.
Pleasure of welcoming great supporters and friends from INMA. He's the president, and then of course L. Wilkinson, and then Doreen is heading the work in Africa.
Honored that you're hosting us today. We look forward to a positive exchange of ideas and strategies to make our industry better. With me is Al Wilkinson. He's President and Executive Director of International Media Association. All welcome, guys. And we're happy to have him here. I'll let him tell you guys more about him and why he's here.
about Business Day. No platform can take it. No AI can replicate it. No competitor can buy it. So here's a little advice. Defend it. Build it. Invest in it. Because folks, the decade ahead is going to belong to these organizations that are unmistakably themselves. They're not boring. They're not neutral. Who are you? Answer that question. You'll figure out the next one. Thanks a lot.
I am, of course, a great admirer of the technical credibility, professionalism, and business savviness of BusinessDay. If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications. From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision-makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, BusinessDay fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities, with millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria. BusinessDay is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. If you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape, BusinessDay is your guide.
Nigeria, a land of boundless energy, driven by the pulse of over 200 million dreams. At the heart of this momentum stands a giant, Seplat Energy, an indigenous powerhouse accounting for a vital share of Nigeria's oil and gas output, propelled by the historic acquisition milestone with the acquisition of ExxonMobil's onshore and shallow water assets, significantly expanding its production capacity and marking its entry into offshore operations. We are the engine of prosperity, Nigeria's leading domestic gas supplier with a total gas production output of 2.7 billion cubic feet, and the landmark Ano gas project delivering first gas, we have elevated our total processed gas output to 855 million standard cubic feet per day onshore. Indeed, we have brought domestic gas utilization to new heights, powering industries and securing energy for millions. But we are not just growing production, we're growing responsibly. By ending routine flares, we are decarbonizing our operations today to protect the Nigeria of tomorrow. Our reach is expanding. From offshore gas distribution to the growth of CNG for transport and industry, we are deepening our presence across the entire value chain. Our impact reaches the grassroots. Through innovative mini-grid projects, we are bringing clean, reliable energy to local communities, fueling economic empowerment where it's needed most. We are more than an energy company. We are a partner in progress, a leader in the energy transition, a giant rooted in Nigeria for Nigeria. Seplat Energy, leading Nigeria's energy transition, powering the future.
At Providus Bank, we're committed to your growth and success. You're never alone on the journey. Our personalized relationship banking is how we do things together. It's what sets us apart. We value every individual and partnership and treat them as such. We're committed to helping you grow and celebrating your success. This is your life story, your future, your forward. This is all about you. Let's move you forward. Providus Bank.
We're still here at the Business Day CEO Forum, the 14th edition, and I'm still speaking to our leaders here in the hall, and I'm speaking now with the DG CEO of the Miriam Babangida National Center for Women Development, Dr. Adedayo Benjamin Lani. It's good to have you seated here with us today.
Great to be here.
Thank you so much for honoring our invite. So let's talk about the theme for this year's event, which is from stability to shared prosperity. I'm very curious to know what shared prosperity, or moving from stability to shared prosperity, what it means for you.
It's the assignment in terms of the Women O'Clock reference of the Honorable Minister Iman Suleiman Ibrahim FSI, that it is now time for that socio-economic TikTok representation of women in the pipeline and intersection of repurposing gross domestic product from just being an economic index to be a community impact index through the development that investing in women and a woman bring to community. We have 774 communities. That is 774 local government areas with our mothers, our Iyalakaras, the Kosei sellers, the entire informal economy, which during the KPMG presentation clearly indicated that 80.7% is women of that GDP. And that labor market, as well as the reference gender index, is not about a women's agenda. It is about shared prosperity. For me, the excitement as the DG CEO for the Miriam Babangida National Center for Women's and National Development is about centering women at the center, women at the pivot of national development, not just as recipients of grants, beneficiaries of some palliatives, but as leaders redirecting the focus as well as the very strategically designed impact of prosperity from the place of stability, like we heard the Honorable Minister say, in terms of repurposing the workforce to those of employable reference and representation, the greater number being women, and the adolescent girl child scaling through their foremost graduating positions these days in Nigerian universities. A lot of the top performing graduates are girls. And we're finding that this, however, does bring us to a place where we have to redirect our investment in the boy child. So it's not just about the girl child. I'm just saying that because even as the CEO for women, I'm a CEO for raising a generation as a woman who's mothering nations through the pipeline of her political activation and appointation. So for me, it's a whole vista of opportunity. From stability to shared prosperity is actually economic language. But the truth of the matter, what it is the fact that shared prosperity is 774 communities. I served as the pioneer mandate secretary for women, that's Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs of the Federal Capital Territory for 2 years and 6 months. It was from that position that I was promoted and elevated to this position as DG. And what that gave me was access to a profiling of how communities are the pivot of economies. And through women, you have the pipeline for development. Again, I say, a women's agenda is not about gender. It is about development. It is about leadership. It is about policy, governance, implementation, operationalization. It's not just about, stop gender-based violence, but much more than that. When you understand that period poverty is poverty, when you understand that water and sanitation health, poverty is poverty, and that the most implicated in this is always the woman, the girl child, the person with these vulnerable communities. Communities are vulnerable because women have not been empowered and given that equitable status of economic representation and training. I would say if you don't train them, don't blame them. So it's much more than being a member of an adagio where at the traditional cultural baseline community, women gather money together and use it over an annual reference of their being in the cluster. It's more about financial training, literacy training, those monetary principles in basics that teach you how to make money, earn money, save money, invest money, and then have money built up as legacy, invested as legacy, not just for you and your family, your children, but for community. So that way, the shared prosperity is legacy. It's shared legacy. So from being, if you become the mother of Africa, where did you start from? You were a baby girl. You're a girl child. You've come through different experiences. And I say, every woman in Africa understands she's got to package her market and market her package if she's really going to catch the market. So the reality therefore for me and the excitement of this conference is, as a CEO, just as we're challenged by the Honorable Minister of Finance, is we are co-authors, co-creators, co-laborers, co-lab techs.
Lab
in the collaboration of creating this whole new nation. Of shared prosperity.
Right. And there's something you said which stuck out to me. Is you said we're not just talking about shared prosperity, but also shared legacy. If there is something you'd say, if you could remove a barrier hindering women right now to reach, this shared prosperity we're talking about, what's that barrier that you'll be?
It's mental. The greatest barrier of every woman is her mindset. It's the orientation towards money, but not just towards money, it's towards herself. And how do I know this so well? It's been my experience. It's my experiential barrier that I had to break through. I mean, I was raised in a family in the first place that our parents would tell us that in this family, we don't make money. We have good name. We don't have money. So I grew up with this as a child. And then one day something me said, no way, I don't just want a good name. I want to make money. Now, it may seem like an ordinary statement, that to me. Other women have other things they've been told. You're not good enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not connected enough. Oh, you've got to have so many followers before you can have that much business. There's so many. We listen to all the reasons why you cannot break through. When all you need is the mindset, one thought that one day tells you, you know what? I am good enough. Or I may not be good enough yet, but I'm good enough for now. So you begin where you're at. You learn to package your market. For me, the greatest barrier is not the fact that, oh, we have a patriarchy, we have glass ceilings, oh, we don't have the seats at the National Assembly. Girl, I got my seat where I am, and I set up a table. And let me put it like this. He said he sets a table before you in the presence of your enemies. He anoints your head with oil. I'm getting prophetic because honestly, really, women, whoever we are, by tribe, by religion, by faith, by political, partisan, whatever representation, if we can just get it, we will truly clock it. Women, the only barrier that we have is our mindset. Once we get it, we'll move as one. You get over the fact that women don't support women. Because you become the one woman you know who will support a woman you do not know. Did you hear me? Support a woman you do not know. Go find that woman in your community, in your school, in your office, who's at your gate. Like I say, I'm the Omalakara of the year Lakara who started the whole Akara conversation. Why? Because I gave a report of the assignment I was given by Her Excellency the First Lady. I did a whole event saying, Your Excellency, ma, you gave me the privilege of serving as the coordinator of the Renewed Hope Initiative in the Federal Capital Territory, while at the same time I served as the Pioneer Mandate Secretary Honorable Commissioner for 2 years and 6 months. While I did that, this money you gave me and investments for health, for traders, for farmers, for persons with disabilities, for elders, for communities. I took it to the people. Today, I am bringing back a report of 27,340, 46 or whatever numbers of women who actually benefited from this, one of whom is this Mariam Akara girl who, and the next thing it became this blow up. But the reality is this, when you do what you do, and you can prove it, you can show it, then truly you have shared prosperity.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Adedayo Benjamin Lani. Thank you for stopping by.
And I'm so grateful. Congratulations to all of you too.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for encouraging me too.
Thank you.
I've walked the walk so you can all run.
Absolutely.
And now I'm telling all of you, I am running, so everybody fly.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Right, this is still the Business Day CEO Forum here at Eco Hotel and Suite. I'm still speaking to our CEOs, business leaders, and key stakeholders across the business landscape. And I'm here with the MD and the CEO of Energia, Mr. Oladimeji Basharam. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr.
Thank you also
Basharam.
for having me here.
Talk to me about your key takeaway. You just finished a panel right now. Talk to me about some of the proceedings from that panel.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I really want to say thank you to Business Day, 14 years of doing this, of actually having us to dialogue, bringing both the private, the government, and everybody in to have a conversation. My first takeaway is that we all have a responsibility as Nigerians, whether as CEO or even as a citizen, to make sure that we invest and we are part of this country. That's the first one. The second thing is also, it's not just government alone. I see it on the company that our annual revenue is in billions of naira. So I need to ensure that at not just delivering profit to the shareholders, that I also deliver value to Nigerians. We provide energy, and so we will comply and ensure that energy is provided. So I picked that up. The third one is also that we have an infrastructure deficit, and it will take all of us to invest into that. So it is going back now to look at our strategy and say, where do we fit into this stream, as part of my takeaway from this forum.
Fantastic. And when we talk about where we fit into this stream, let's talk about the theme for today's event, which is from stability to shared prosperity. Now, what will shared prosperity look like for you from the lens of an energy lens? What would that look like?
Yeah, thank you. Very excellent question. So what does it mean for me? It means that we run a company that is first able to provide energy to drive growth for this nation, that we ensure that our energy is affordable, is available, and is accessible. That's the first thing, to make sure that we help businesses, the SMEs, the 90%, to be able to scale up, and they'll need energy. So that's the first one, so that they are also part of the shared prosperity. The second one is that individual Nigerians will provide employment, but not just employment, we provide intellectual capacity and growth for them, so that they also prosper intellectually, so it becomes shared. It's not just the company. We invest in development of people, so we move away from just having a typical engineer, but we provide a resource to the nation that somebody would be able to benefit. The third one is also to provide governance prosperity, that we have a group of leaders that can run the business even beyond us, and that's what we're investing into, to make sure that it's shared prosperity.
Nice. If you're to look right now, from between now 2027 and then 10 years from now, what's a signal or trend or shift in your sector today that you would say that every business leader should be paying attention to, and why?
Yeah, the first one is technology. The AI is taking over the world. We cannot pretend that we are not going to be impacted. So we need to start investing in the technology. We need to also follow the trend in terms of the governance of AI, the technology that is. The second thing also now is that Nigerians are being entrusted with running the company. 60% of the oil and gas sector, the production of today, is provided by Nigerian oil companies. So we need to keep the trend up. When the international oil companies leave, Nigerians should be able to take it over and run it successfully. So that's the second trend. We need to keep up the trend. The third one also is that we are competing with the fintechs for resources. So we need to be attractive for people to come in. We need to go to the universities, ensure that we have enough, invest in development at the university level, partner with universities for researches, because we are competing with fintech for resources. They are very lucrative, and so that's a trend that we see that we must do something about, so that we are not out of business.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oladimeji Basharu, for stopping by at our booth today, and also just the insightful conversation, brief and very, very impactful. Thank you very much.
And thank you also for having me. I really enjoyed the section today. Thank you all.
Thank you. With the CEO of Aga Khan University Hospital is Mr. Koram Jamal. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
I want to start by asking you about some of the key takeaways that you've gotten from this event. I mean, you've been here for a while now, and then you had a presentation. Talk to me about what you think about this year's theme, which is from stability to shared prosperity, and also some of the key takeaways that you might have gotten from some of the sessions which we had here.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you for Business Day for inviting the Aga Khan University Hospital to participate in this very fruitful CEOs forum. A lot of interesting talks and topics have been talked about this today, including energy, finance, banking, issues and challenges that are facing the Nigerian business sector, and